There it goes. Got it. I got it.
I don't even remember where I got it, but it was like a sticker from some medicine or like a suppository.
Oh yeah,
And so like the sticker was anal use only on the microphone.
Perfect.
Oh, we live?
Dude.
No.
No. What's going on, everybody? Cali Death Podcast back once again, episode 200. Let me say that one more time. Episode 200.
So and
Oh
like
my
on
God.
average, we're like doing 3 hours a time. So 200 times 3 hours. I'm like, how many? That's so
600.
that's like
You guys-
600 hours.
On average, we're about 600 hours of us being us sounding like idiots for 600 hours on the internet, dude.
Exactly.
But luckily, we talk about cool bands, so people listen because of that. But the idiot stuff is that's our shit.
Dude, this is crazy. But by the way, real quick, I'm Anthony Trapani. If this is your first episode, that'd be crazy to jump in at 200. But if this is your first episode, I'm Anthony Trapani, and I got my resident homies with me, Casey Howard and Joel Horner. Casey
Hey,
to the
Anthony.
right on the couch, and then
Hi.
we're already as we always do with these anniversary episodes. We always got a couple of homies kicking it with us pre-pod to start it off with us. We got Ian McDonald from Sick Drummer Magazine. What up, Ian?
Yo, what's up, guys?
Hell
What
yeah,
up?
dude. Been on the show with us, been in the chat with us pretty much every single week. That's awesome. And Nate Venerucci from Ontogeny.
What up?
Also multi-time guest and in person with Casey today. That's fucking rad that you guys were able to link up while you're down in the SoCal. Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I'm on 12 hours of sounding like an idiot on your show.
Yeah, dude. You were part of the first wave of guests that we had on the show, really, back in the day. I would say,
Hell
what
yeah.
were you like within the first 20 episodes, maybe?
I don't know, man. I'm a
Yeah, I
terrible.
know. I don't either, dude.
No, dude, I don't. Hell, I don't. I was on the anniversary.
I don't. We
one.
don't know either, dude.
I hella don't know.
It could have been like episode 57 or like 8. Like I'm not sure because it's the hell they blow together. They blow together, dude.
I'm gonna find out right now. Let's just see, because
Dude, I
been on as
yeah,
a
I would
solo,
skip
but
episode anyway. So there's you guys have
yeah,
great
dude, I
guests.
was right. So you were episode 14,
Oh,
Nice. There we
and
go.
then we had you back on episode 41 as the
reversed.
anomalous.
1541.
Whoa, that is kind of fucking Lynchian how that happened, you know?
It doesn't have to be Lynchian because it's a number that.
Well, I just said that because Nate, I said that to Nate specifically. I wasn't talking
Okay,
to anybody else on the podcast because I know he would get that.
Lives in Twin Peaks, so who knows what's up?
Yeah.
Awesome. The new season or the new reboot of Twin Peaks is amazing.
It's so epic, dude. All right, but before we fall down that rabbit hole, super
Look at him
easy for
started.
me to do that. Ian also has been on the show. He's been with us for the longest time, dude. You're always going to see him in the chat and been a big supporter of our show. It blessed us with the art for our flyer this week too, which had all of us giggling, dude, this whole week, and also had me listening to diving back into the Beatles, dude. I was listening to a lot of Beatles this week, dude. I really was, dude. And I was having a great time doing it. Great band, and so thank you, Ian, for sparking my go around again with the Beatles, dude.
That was fun. That Joel picture at the end there in the intro.
I feel like I'm always like the people always take a group picture and they always zoom in on my face or look at Joel. Like, I feel like that's a common
Oh,
theme.
well, yeah, but yours was. So there was a reason though.
You
Your
always have a
picture was-
face that always
is-
just like kind of you want to laugh at, even though it's
but-
not ugly. You just want to laugh at Joel because Joel has a giggly smile. You know.
I'm
But the way that hair looked on Joel was like the greatest. Like,
I don't know. The way that I'm set up, it's like I'm kind of microcephalic. My skull shrunk and my ears went out. I like Sam. Shout out Sam in the chat. He mentioned I look like the Mad TV face. If you,
oh Jesus! All right, that's pretty gnarly.
well, dude, now if you can pull it up and make
Dude,
that
I'm not
comparison.
Jamie
Actually,
from fucking
oh yeah,
Joe Rogan's.
I didn't upload. I can upload
that's
them
not
real
the first
quick.
time you said that to me.
Yeah.
You definitely can't pull it up right now. He's too kicked back on the
Dude,
couch.
what a painful thing to say to somebody though. Like, hey Joel, it's just every time we look at your face, we just laugh.
I know.
It
Exactly.
makes me laugh.
See, Nate has
It's just
logic
your
and understanding.
face that's done.
No,
you know.
I prefaced it with it wasn't in a negative way. Like your smile makes me want to giggle with you. That's what it is.
All right, okay, that's
but,
cuter.
man, some days you could just be in a bad mood and you're like, man, your face, dude, you're funny.
Your face makes me
Yeah, I have
giggle.
the adverse effect. It makes people sick when they see me. That's a bummer,
Exactly. It just always seems like, yeah, I'm doing like a cute. I'm not even doing one of those like half. I think actually out of all of them, Anthony is the weird. Yeah,
I'm definitely the weirdest looking one, dude. My ears.
It fits your head the best. Like that could be the most real. That's the most realistic one because my head is like kind of smushed in a little bit where it wouldn't be realistic looking for a haircut like that. Your head looks like that could be your hair.
It could. If you just took like a half inch off the height of my skull past my ears.
Dude, it goes under your ears. Dude, the hair goes under your ears like perfectly. Like it looks like that's
I was laughing
nailed
so
that.
hard making this. And Joseph looks like he's in the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joseph was like he's like a death metal guy in the Beatles, just going like, what?
Dude, he looks like he's that John Lennon. That's John Lennon, right?
Yeah, with the glad.
Dude, he looks like John Lennon. Like,
so
dude,
Joel's
I was all like,
Ringo.
oh my God.
I guess Joel's Ringo. I would guess.
I thought I was Ringo.
I was
George.
saying you're
George.
George,
Harrison.
and I'm Paul, and Joseph's.
Oh,
John.
Anthony's right, but Joel looks more like Paul in a way. Not like he's not the right person. So who was
Nah,
on the
not with
left?
those mutton chops, dude. The mutton chops give it away on the
Ringo's
Ringo.
on the left. Yeah.
Casey
So
looks like
Joel's Ringo.
that human werewolf guy. That kind of like
I look
Teen
insane.
Wolverine.
But Joel though.
I know.
But
I know.
the thing is the hair.
My head looks like squished.
It's perfect, dude. It's so good.
I
It's
know.
like
We,
emo Joel.
What's funny how it came back to
emo.
like that's like an emo look. That's like it could be like My Chemical Romance or the Beatles. It kind of came back. That's like the original OG emo look. They even have like the fucking sideburns, like that you see
that's what I'm
nowadays.
saying, the
in a lot of-
mutton chops, dude.
Yeah, and then the little like mullet tapering in the back. That's nice.
It's like
Well,
emo
dude,
but cooler.
We already said it because, I missed it on our actual anniversary, dude. But happy official anniversary party for this show, dude. It's been going for 4 years, 200 episodes. Casey looks like one of the old
nice.
school
I can
Planet
see
of the
that.
Apes characters. Yeah, I'll give him that. Definitely.
That's what I was
does.
trying to put my
I was gonna
finger
say
on
the
it.
kid from Jumanji when he turns into the monkey.
Yeah, dude, you nailed it. You nailed it. That's what it is, dude. When he cheated on the game, and then it turned him into a monkey. He needed a Robin Williams character. I forget what it is. He's like, I need to talk to you about something, but it was he needed his tail to come out of his pants. Because it was so uncomfortable.
Dude, so also special guest Jack Black just
Quick
Yeah.
little Jack Black pop in.
Oh, hey, a
I
quick
thought-
flashback. 200 episodes ago.
that was the
200.
100th?
That was for your birthday, was it?
That was the first episode, bro.
That was the
Casey's holding
first
invisible
episode,
stick.
dude. That was the
Damn.
pilot episode
200.
0, dude. Wow. For
Yeah.
people who are just listening, We just got a still from the first episode Casey, Joseph, and I did. Me as the guest. I've mentioned it many a times. I wasn't a part of the original host team, dude. It was Casey and Joseph, and they just started it. And it was Guttural Reef shout out in the chat. It was called Decrepitated Tormentation. That's what we called that episode.
Okay.
Because of my classic, still 200 episodes later, mispronouncing things and fucking up words. I had said when I was talking about deprecated, I said decrepitated. So I mixed decrepit birth, decapitated, and deprecated all into one word. And then it got me
actually pretty technical, dude.
And then it got me to I actually is sparking the reason why it's called decrepitated tormentation is because we laughed about me fucking up on that word. And then I started talking about my cousin Eric, who I was working with at the time, where he would fuck up words, and he used the word tormentation. And I laughed at him when he said it, but I did my research and found out that it was actually a word used in like the 1800s. So I was like, dude, tormentation can still be accepted. It was actually
still my favorite question. Even Matt from Decrepit randomly messaged me recently and was like, it's an inside joke for 12 years now. We were being like interviewed. We were high as shit being interviewed by someone like our van. And she's like, what is she's all, how is, because she's basically, the question was, what are the brutal aspects bringing over from End Time Begins to diminishing was, I think, the question, what it meant to be. But she's all like, how was diminishing like brutally expected from End Time Begins? And we were like high as shit and we're like, brutally expected? And we just started laughing like for like felt so bad. But now it's brutally expected. We always go like, do they have some, they're brutally expected, like they have like some it's just stuck. It's a dumb little like farting brain fart.
It's when humans try and converse and then things go wrong, you gotta giggle. And I
it's just a straight question with the mic in your face. The mic in your face after that question, we're just like, yeah, we're like, yeah. The End Time Begins is brutal. It's brutal. You know,
yeah, you're just like
a little more melodic.
Still, what kind of tormentation? What kind of tormentation did you feel when you named your brand Decrepitated? And you're just like,
rough to dude, look at Nate's face. Look at Nate's face. It's my favorite. Like he has my favorite like bored face.
Dude, for the record, so Joel's face is funny when you look at him, apparently. But every episode I've been on, and I've been on, I think, a lot of times.
I think there's like a fifth or fourth or something.
Look at Nate's face, dude. So,
dude,
it's funny because
there. It's always like his bored face is bored. It's just my face, man. After a while, it's just my face.
I got a side note it that Joel, Nate had your back when we started talking about your face, and now you're talking about his face, dude. What's up, dude?
I know. I didn't say it was ugly or made me laugh. I said he looked disinterested, and it's funny to me.
So when I said that your laugh makes us giggle, you were like, "What? What are you talking about, dude?"
Decrepit tormentation.
I just gotta give it.
I heard every word of that. It was all good stuff, man. That was all good stuff.
It's all good stuff.
Dude, Ian, where's that origin shirt from? Is that like what's on the cover of that shirt, dude?
They live.
Oh, so it's like a crossover. Nice. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Let me check that out, dude.
Yeah, show us your tits right now, real quick.
Yeah, breasts.
Nice.
Hell yeah, good stuff,
dude. So, all right, let's do the plugs real quick. Yeah, I was just gonna keep going. BattleforgeCoffee.com at the top, always. That's our homies. We love their product. We love their merchandise. We think you should support them because it's a quality company, and we'd get no money from saying that. We literally are just supporting the homies because they have something that we back, dude. That's literally what it is. And you drink coffee, I drink coffee. Go get your coffee there. GeneratorRehearsalStudios.com. That's our homies as well, down in Oceanside, California. Go get creative and feel safe that you're in a cool place to express yourself at GeneratorRehearsalStudios.com. Merch will be available again in the near future. We'll have more details soon. And so let's plug you guys, Ian and Nate, helping us kick it off. Ian, where do you want people to go? You got some spots I'm sure you want people to hit on the interwebs.
Yeah, basically the same usual suspects. You know, we don't do too much on Instagram. We do some, but we do a lot on our YouTube and our website, sickdrummermagazine.com. Facebook is still pretty active, but we've been doing a lot on YouTube and Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do we do the live interviews and port them to YouTube and Twitch, but I've been doing a lot of drumming on Twitch on my channel. I've already done 110 streams, and I started a year ago. So
damn, dude. So what's your Twitch handle?
Just Sick Drummer Magazine.
Oh, sick. All right, dude, that's crazy. That's basically 2 streams a day. No, what am I talking about? 2 streams a week.
Yeah, it's like three a week, maybe more.
Awesome, dude.
We're gonna tune into one of your. They're streaming right now too. Redcord and See You Next Tuesday, which is, you know, what's funny with the See You Next Tuesday band? I never even equated it to the C word. It's because they spell it SEEU next Tuesday. I just put that together 30 years later.
Cunt instead of cunt.
Yeah. Sound.
Yeah, they changed their Instagram handle too. Yeah, John Rice is not live yet, but it is upcoming.
You could always that's something that shows how long and how respected Sick Drummer Magazine is that over the time that you have been doing your thing, that you've made so many connections throughout the world that nobody else is going to get as much live drummer footage in the underground metal scene than it is with Sick Drummer Magazine, because you got your tentacles that reach all across the world, dude, and you'll find somebody that's going to set up and be willing to stream for you in various places on the planet, dude. And that's rad. I mean, how many subs do you guys have now in your lifetime of being a channel?
Combined, you know, like socials and website, probably like, I don't know, 670,000.
Dude, that's so crazy, dude.
Yeah,
you guys have been on the fucking.
I actually got a meeting in a couple weeks with a guy who's going to help me with my YouTube channel, because I've got 66 million views and I don't make as much as I should. So I haven't.
You probably got like $50, dude.
Help
out. Yeah. As soon as you hear the word "fuck" in the first 5 minutes, you're done, dude. That's why we're actually protected with our underground death metal shell, because nobody will let us get to the point where YouTube's gonna have to worry about us and with money and shit. Because I mean, the views that you get on these types of niche podcasts, it's like, who cares if we're not monetized? Like, we should be able to listen to music and talk shit, but maybe we'll test the music thing in year 5. We'll start playing music on the show and see what kind of. I think
we just can't play copyrighted like Rammstein videos.
We did get hit. We got hit by a Rammstein video back in the day, and that's a much bigger band than just listening to Pierce from Within or something, you know. So
yeah, that wouldn't be a copyright strike listening to death metal. It would be if you listen to because that's what a bunch of like Naveen and all those, they all listen to music the whole time and they like all like react to it. They just don't get paid for their episode. It's not like, but there's
we don't get paid for our episodes anyways, though.
Well, that's why a lot of guys that were streaming videos on YouTube, like Sam, has stopped streaming on YouTube and went right to Twitch, because they're a lot less, you know, they don't care as much. You still get strikes, but they really don't matter.
Yeah,
definitely.
I agree.
Well, speaking of live music,
I noticed, Ian, you have a drum set behind you. You want to play something for us, or
Well, let's not
you gotta
No,
no,
I'm
let's
down.
not blow our load right away. I
hold
think
on,
that
hold on,
Let's kick.
hold on, hold on. Ian, you had like an idea, right? You had a song or a couple you were thinking of doing, or
Me and Nate are gonna be, and Anthony are gonna be super down. Casey too.
if you want.
But
It's up to you guys. I'll play something. if
Anthony
you want.
is unaware, so he's.
actually I got a little sound check pre-pod. So what up?
Oh, you
I already
did?
know.
Okay. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Whatever.
you
I was
guys
just
were-
saying.
You
If I cut
were.
you guys off speaking, it's because I'm having a hard time hearing you guys in my ears. I hear myself
Really?
fine, but you guys are kind
Damn,
of clippy,
dude.
so I apologize in advance if I cut anybody off.
No,
Oh,
you're
that's
not,
all
you're
good, dude.
not.
Don't worry about it.
We don't care, dude. Fuck yeah. But yeah, man. At some point, or now, or whenever you want, man. You should, if you want to rock those things, dude, it'd be cool to hear something.
I mean, they
Let's
do
get
like
started.
they have musical
party
performances
going,
that kick
dude.
off shows. Maybe we could do it that way and have
Saying.
Ian
Yeah, it's
start us off right with the tune.
It's up to you guys. In fact, if I do it now, I might just hop out of here because I'm using OBS, and I'll just hop back in directly into StreamYard, and I don't think I'll have the audio issues that I'm having.
Okay, so maybe while you do that, then we'll talk to Nate real quick about all his plugs and stuff, and then by the time you're back on, we'll get it going.
No,
All right,
I'm
Nate,
saying-
you're up, dude.
I'm saying that I will. If you want me to play something, I'll do that. Then I'll hop out and come back in without OBS.
Yeah, do the song
okay.
that you were warming up with, because I want to.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
All right. I'll
That
try
sounds like a good plan, Ian, because
I'll
then
try and look
without the
over at
OBS,
you,
you'll
and
be
if it
better.
sounds
We'll
like
look
shit,
better.
someone just do like a thumbs down or whatever, and I'll catch you out of the corner of my eye.
I think Joel figured it out, but maybe we'll.
Yeah, I got your settings.
No matter
correct
what,
for
we
it.
heard your drums, so I'll definitely rock out to your drums.
So we good? You want me to do it?
Go for it,
Fuck
dude.
Get her
yeah.
done.
All right.
Get this party going.
Sick Drummer magazine style, dude.
Dude, Sick Drummer's been the player on the scene for like
I mean,
15, 20
for
years.
like
As long as I
20+
remember.
years.
As long as I remember.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Yep.
try and be quiet so we don't cut him out.
Make that gentleman full screen. I want to see his beautiful. There.
If you do full screen and I look over and it sounds like shit and your thumb's downing me, I won't be able to see you though.
That'd be even
Ah,
funnier.
sure.
You can see.
Okay.
Oh,
I think he just.
all right. Yeah.
I
Or if
think
it sounds like shit, just mute me. Whatever. I'll play the song.
No,
If it
no,
sounds
no,
like
just-
shit,
no,
mute
no.
me.
We're not
just
gonna
feel
ever
it, bro.
make
Wail it out because I'm
Who
ready for
cares?
this.
Yeah. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
dude.
dog.
Ian,
Oh, that
honestly,
next song.
dude, that's such a good song. That was the best sounding performance we've had on out of all 200 episodes. Any musician that plays their instrument on the show, whatever mic they're using, has always hindered how it sounds on the show, and that honestly was clear as day the whole entire time he played, and very entertaining, dude. I was super excited because after how many attempts we've had people try and play on the show, even though you can hear certain aspects of it and tell that they're a talented person, the audio's always been shitty, but that sounded great, dude. That made me want
I'm glad we did
that
the
made me
sound
want to
test,
have
dude.
that made me want to
I-
have like a Ian's segment every now and then where he learns a new song and performs it for us on an episode once a month or something like that, just pops in and does what he just did.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. It took
Hell
about
yeah,
So
dude.
what drums are those? What are the what electronic drums are those?
it took about 4 months to set it all up right. But now that it's set up right in OBS, that's why it sounds so good. If I was doing it another way, it probably wouldn't. And I appreciate the compliments. Thank you. This is an Alesis Strike Pro SE.
Okay.
And I'm running this into my Alesis module, and then it runs stereo out into a single jack into my Focusrite, but it actually comes out stereo in OBS, even though I'm only going mono in. And then my microphone is the second input on my Focusrite, and that runs directly into OBS with the cameras. I've got 3 cameras. I can only run one of them doing it like I'm doing, but when I stream, I've got 4 angles and they switch around and stuff. It's kind of cool.
Nice.
It was a nice little taste of what you would get subscribing to his Twitch channel. You get that 3 times a week. That sounded
Hell
great,
yeah.
dude.
We got
Cool.
Speaking of
Thank you.
microphones and singing beautifully, we have Big Banana on, dude.
Oh shit, the banana is here, dude. Big banana.
What's up,
Cameron
dude?
Argon, dude. Cameron,
Damn it.
Shout out,
What up,
shout
brother?
out Casey. Always eating a banana.
I know. I fucking do. I don't have a banana. I got to eat something else.
Tell
man?
me to drop out, and I'll drop back in a
Dude.
second, okay?
Yeah,
Cool.
it's all
Sounds
good,
good,
bro.
man.
We'll see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Dude, big
What's
chocolate in
going
the
on?
house, dude. Cameron, what up, brother?
What's going on?
Hey,
Happy to
dude.
be here. Happy to be
Yeah,
here.
we're happy to
with
have you, dude.
The swagadelic nature. On
Yes,
this room.
sir, dude.
Cameron, I've
Dude,
been
I've been
enjoying your
loving your
videos,
videos.
man. Dude, yeah.
Dude,
Thank you.
Dude, you
talk
created
about
a new
swagadelic
genre.
nature, dude.
Yeah, a new genre of just like a chill, like
Dude, I love it.
Dude.
like,
I text
love that
him all
mix.
the time, dude. When I see a new
Dude.
dance video, I'm like, dude, I could watch this guy dance all day, dude.
Yeah,
As long as that soundtrack's the way that it is, dude.
it's funny because like I wasn't really like trying to do that. That's just kind of how I feel when I hear that stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
nice.
Just groove with it, dude. You groove
I
with
can't
it.
help it. I can't help it.
That's
Totally,
perfect
dude.
to capture it. I mean, everyone's caught on to it with you. They're kind of like going like, all right, I feel his vibe through that music. It kind of actually works.
Yeah, the funny thing
Yeah.
about that stuff is, did you guys? I feel like you guys would be into this. Did you guys? Cody, the drummer of Sangasugabog, has like a million side projects, and
Mhm.
one of them is called Gutting. It's like a newer thing. It's like
Okay.
really avant-garde slam kind of thing. And I did a song, and then Ricky from Suffocation did a song, and it's
Nice.
really
Oh,
cool.
cool.
Like both tracks are super cool, and they just like I remember when I did them too, because I think initially I did both, and then they went on tour with Suffocation in Europe, and they were playing it on the bus, and then Cody like texts me, he's like, "Yo, dude, like Ricky wants to go on a track." I'm like, "Sick,
way.
like
Hell
do
yeah.
it."
Rad.
But so I got pretty familiar with both songs, but like they're just like I don't know, like Cody's got such an interesting way of playing certain things, and just his approach to music too, and we both like really get along on that stuff. But
Yeah, dude.
we did it, and then he was like, "Hey, can you do like a little vocal video, to kind of promote it?" And like I remember like when he was hyping it up, he was like, "I want this to be like a big Wigger Slam revival band," and I was like, "Okay, dude, I'm about it." So like in the video, I was wearing like a puffy jacket, which I thought was like totally on par, and like chocolate milk with me, which ironically, like both things, like I was wearing that and drinking that, so it was like I wasn't really putting on anything special for the video. It's just like how I showed up to the studio that day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't remember what I was doing in the studio, but I was like, we got to film this thing real quick, and then we filmed it. And when we put it online, it was like it did. I mean, I haven't really like gotten into social media and like, dude, it's probably like 10 years at this point, but like it was like the most poppy thing I've done on social media in a while. And I was like, that's crazy and cool. And I just wrote this album, the new Disfiguring album that came out last month. And I remember Softly With You. And I remember I was talking to Steve Joe, the legend, A&R metal legend. And I was like, hey, I got this record. He heard it. And he's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I was thinking about promoting it this way or whatever. He's like, honestly, you should just blow up on TikTok. And I was like, dude, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And it was after that video. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make like short little songs to basically just like, because the way I look at like Instagram and TikTok now is like, it's kind of like the new MySpace music player if you let it be.
Yeah.
Like you can just kind of like upload music to it without really like thinking about it. You don't have to go through this whole like
that's the big
process.
slime. That's the big slime summer shit.
That's the big slime summer. And so it's just kind of about doing different stuff with like very low pressure and really no desire to be consistent in any means. So on the front end, you got like a lot of like goofy videos, and they weren't like trying to be goofy at first. They just like that's just kind of how it evolved.
I never really think of them being goofy because I know that you're feeling it. You're grooving with that shit for real. I know that you are. But then there ends up being like a little humoristic aspect when you end up in a banana suit and all that kind of shit. You
totally.
know?
Yeah. By the end of it, which was the banana suit, it was like, this needs to stop. But, but like on the back end, it was like really creative and like really cool. Like I was able to make a bunch of music that I never really thought I would be making, but kind of wanted to. Like kind of like making the cumbia music and whatnot, I thought was like totally enabled by that format and like that platform, which was cool. And then the other thing on the creative side on the back end is like I just got all this analog mixing gear, mainly for the mix bus. So like, you know, I do everything in the box, and then at the very end, I send it out of these high-end converters into like a sweet compressor, into a sweet EQ, and then back into the nice converters. And so like, and I named my mix bus Big Slime. So that's like why I called it Big Slime Summer, because I was just like using this, getting to know this gear kind of. So like on the back end, I was like, it was really creative. It was cool to get like live feedback without, you know, having to deal with much kind of, you know, it was like I could throw something and see how it landed like immediately, and I could pivot accordingly. And it just, the whole process was super creative. And
I looked at it through my real quick. Let me just make a statement. That's all. Sorry, dude. I just want to make this one statement because I looked at it through my like hip hop lens, right? And because me and you talk, Cameron, often enough to where, you know, I'm lucky enough to hear what you're doing before everybody else does, and that's super cool. But with Softly With You and then the Big Slime Summer contrast, I looked at it through like the hip hop lens. And even though Big Slime is you creating, because like a mixtape would be, you know, rapping over other people's beats and doing posse cuts and all that kind of shit, but basically like Big Slime Summer to me was more of a mixtape feel, and then Softly With You was the the main banger that you would put
Yeah.
out as an album.
More methodical.
Yeah, exactly. A lot. I mean, I'm not saying that there isn't as much intelligence put into the Big Slime Summer stuff, because it still is great music and all that. But you could tell that Softly with You, when you listen to it, you had a lot of focus on that record when you were putting it together. It's definitely you know, the proper follow up to the Brutal Machine,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and like with the better mixing and production, the sound is way more fuller. I remember we talked about the Brutal Machine. You were mixing that on iMac speakers, right? Just coming off your computer.
Yeah.
and
I mean,
and
yeah. And then I got into it. I got some speakers. I bought some analog gear, and I was like, God damn! Just when I think I'm out, they pull me right back in.
but it's like it is this you could constantly understand this duality between you and your alter egos, right? And depending on what persona you're gonna fill when you're making something, there's all these aspects of you as an artist that it is like a percentage of how much percentage of Big Chocolate am I going to put into this disfiguring the goddess thing, you know? And I think that the balance that you're constantly working with, your duality, I think that you're honing it in even more with what you're putting out right now, you know?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It's kind of funny because like the more I do stuff and the more like I reflect, the better I think it is just to kind of see things through action, and then kind of see how really like internalize how things feel once you're doing things, and then just allow that to influence your intuition to like and just be prepared to do things that like I don't know might suck too or might not hit, but like that's what I was talking about earlier with like Instagram and TikTok being like really low pressure platforms. You could kind of like experiment in a way. It's kind of funny, like I was making a bunch of music in August, and I was kind of planning on keeping it going. I got the allergies here in Nevada, northern Nevada, have been off the charts, horrible.
Yeah.
Like never in my life have I.
How old are you? How old are you?
34. But like
yeah,
everyone
34,
around me
35
is just like
34, 35 is when it hit me. That's when like I was like had actual allergies. Was like my dad was like having hay fever and stuff, and when I was a kid, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, like sneezing a bunch, and then I turned 35, moved to Sacramento, the city of trees, and just get ruined. Like I have to, I think I'm sick all the time. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude,
this is like allergies.
If everyone didn't have allergies right now, I'd be like, do I have leukemia or something? Like, what's going on with me? You know? I'd be like, oh, there's something wrong with me. But literally everyone around me is like, I feel horrible. And I
got a quick question for you too. Actually, getting back into that, I feel like you have a really entrepreneurial. I don't want to say the word. Entrepreneurial. So basically, like the way you look at everything, the way you look at what you're doing as a project, the way you're tackling things. It's kind of like it's unique. I think it's 100% unique from what I see a lot of people doing with music. It's kind of like just finding a pocket that's fun, but also like using logic and just like trying to go like, well, this is where I fit in here. I'll do it here, do it there. So did you have any kind of like business training or anything? Like, I feel like you did, right? You feel like
no
business minded to me.
It's funny because like, especially with music, I find like if I try again, it like kind of goes back to what I was just saying. Like if I try to think about things too much and get too organized with things, like it just gets in the way. Like I need to really just catch I don't want to say like a vibe, but like kind of a momentum, and then let that momentum just do what it needs to do. And there's two sides of that too. Like I've caught momentums in private, like in the studio for like a year straight, and no one in the world knows or cares. But there's like a weird thing
Yeah.
that you can catch a momentum and something about releasing something, which I really feel like is a integral part of the creative process, is showing your work. I mean, obviously it's selective whether you show things or not. I'm not saying like you have to show all your work in order for it to be considered, you know, real or whatever. No, not like that, but like you really, you get to view it and hear it and have a different point of view on it, like the moment it's public. It's so weird. And you know, if you're able to get some kind of feedback or catch like a feeling of how that is like affecting people, it can like also influence your momentum. And I mean, obviously you can see that happen in a lot of bad ways too, but I just let it hit me all summer long, just like the best way possible. I just felt like it was like so good for my soul. So
yeah.
that was kind of like the, I mean, I didn't really do many business. Like when I hear business, I think like, I don't know, so like, you know,
It's dirty.
yeah, just like a ledger sheet.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? But like my main point of like Big Slime Summer on the public, like the tool I was trying to use it and what I was trying to accomplish with it was just trying to build the platforms again, because I've been so inactive on social media for so long. And it's like pretty much all the platforms are either different or new, you know? So it was like, you know, I know people know about me, and I know there's a lot of people who should know about me. Let's just like, you know, see what happens when I just put a bunch of me out
Join.
there.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
dude.
And it's
Awesome.
like, dude, you never know who's looking at something. You can make a video and have it have 100 views, and dude, you don't know who like
Yeah,
who those people are. Like,
exactly.
so one of those people could be like really cool and like change your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah, no
It's
doubt.
crazy.
So-
The algorithms are absolutely insane. There's been one time I saw it once in my life, just posting a joke video where it was like I posted it and just like laid back for a second and looked up and it had like 5,000 views in like 30 seconds or something. And I was like, what the fuck just like, and then it just kind of went away. And I was like, yeah, it wasn't that funny. So in my head, I was like, yeah, it was all right. But like, you know, this is like 3-4 years
5,000
ago.
views. That was crazy.
But like in
it
like
really,
30
it really
seconds.
validated you and being funny. You're like, holy shit.
No,
I believe it.
no, it wasn't even that funny. I didn't think it was that
my
funny.
friends laugh at me,
just
and
hit-
that means it's right. It's honest.
No, it just like hit. It just got into the stream. You know, it just like fell into the
Yeah.
stream where people were scrolling randomly, and it just like hit their scrolling randomly, like thumbs, like everyone
that's
at once.
that's OCD,
I mean,
that's the OCD aspect of current society, though. You know?
Yeah. 100%.
The algorithm is cool and it could benefit you, but I don't think it's necessarily the thing to like glorify or chase, especially when it comes to like certain metrics and stuff, like how well something performs. It's like, yeah, there was things I put out over the summer that I thought were like really cool and didn't perform as well. You know what I mean? But it's like, again, you don't know who thinks it's awesome and who cares. Like if it doesn't do a certain thing, it's like it doesn't mean it's not great. Or
Yeah.
I mean, especially when we're talking about music, it's like, dude, you want to talk about the algorithm? It's like go pants someone up, you know, go pants like your friend, and like you better if you're going for engagement, like, you know, there you go. But like to share music, it's just like that's like the way I like to look at it. It's just like a connective platform.
And if one of those things don't hit, as long as you're true to it and you were stoked enough to, I mean, I've been watching you for years, Cameron, and I know that anything that you put out, you were in love with it before you put it out, because I know that there's a lot that you have not put out because you know,
I mean, I think that's kind of like the Big Slime thing was like giving, like I really resonate with analog and the way it's like you don't even really say the way it sounds. It's kind of the way it feels, and it's bizarre. It's really hard to put your finger on like what's so sweet about it. And like you look at the price tag of some of the things in the analog domain, you're like that's crazy. But like once you get to experience it and it's really use it, like you print it at the end, so you get to like capture what it's doing in the final step. But like when you're working with it, it just like generates a different way of interacting with your speakers and the music that I really resonate with. So like Big Slime Summer and getting the analog stuff was kind of like, hey, I can make something in 30 minutes and then be very comfortable on like sharing it to the world kind of.
It's like a director
workflow.
who works with film now that digital is so much of a thing. They want to go back and actually work with film.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, it's huge. It's still like that's film. Working with film is it's so tedious and so expensive in that world. But like it's such a like Long Legs, that movie was done in film, and that movie's so sick. Like it just looks so weird. Like it's when I saw it in theaters, I guess they're bringing it back. Like I would check it out. I don't know if it's select theaters or whatever, but probably a good chance you could see it again. It's definitely a theater movie. Like I went and saw it by myself in theaters, and I was like, this is so like I was so creeped out the entire movie. I was like 10 out of 10. That was fantastic.
That's rad.
But it's funny because like I did that tour with Angel Maker in August, and it was just like so great on so many levels. And I was like, I need to do this. Like so I'm like, I need to make Disfiguring a band. And so I've been going back to the catalog and like grabbing a bunch of, because like I figured like if Disfiguring was gonna play, like it had to play stuff from a catalog that's never been played before. So like I'm reaching back to like, a lot of old songs right now and like digging out the project files and like kind of remodernizing them, but also like looking through the sessions and noticing what made them sound that way to begin with. Because I was not like a well-versed audio engineer guy. I was, again, like more so about the feeling I got from the speakers versus like what was going on the computer. So it's like I'm very much on the same wavelength right now, but on like the other end of that. You know what I mean? Where like I went through all like those bell curve memes where at the very top you're like a total dork. And then like at the end, you're like a Jedi, but you're saying the same thing you were saying when you were like, a fish or whatever that the meme is. But like seeing some of the things I was doing, I was like, whoa, like 10 decibels of gain reduction on the guitars. Like I don't even compress my guitars right now. Like that's weird. And then like kind of going back and doing like a remaster and putting like a compressor and doing that, I'm like, whoa, that sounds like really sick. So like, even just going back in the past couple of weeks and kind of revamping older tracks in the same vein as I was producing them back then, it's like, I don't know. It's fun.
It's very entree perennial of you.
God damn.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Those are wise business moves.
Dude, it's so funny that Ian's doing the same thing he does in the chat, but he's just here with us, like roasting Joel.
Yeah, he just ripped you, Joel.
What's up,
Cameron? Damn, I'm
nice
fucked
to meet
up,
you, man.
dude. I can't even walk.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah,
dude,
no,
actually, it wasn't you guys' voices. It was my little mic clip here. It was not in all the way. That's why everything was fuzzy. So I could have stayed. I could have stayed in my OBS.
Learning engineering stuff, you find stuff out every day. It's crazy.
Cameron, on the couch, real quick. We got to introduce you to. Well, actually, no. Nate was on last year.
Yeah, you guys are
with you
guys. You guys shared
already.
Screen.
So Nate,
what up?
And actually, I think of Nate. I think of Nate as somebody who is similar in what you were just mentioning about, and how I look at you guys as anything you guys put out. I'm 100% certain that you were in love with it before it got to me, and yes, ontogeny, dude. And I put you guys on the same pedestal of like quality over quantity. I know that I'm gonna get quantity or quality as soon as you guys put anything out. I'm just 100% in as soon as I hear it,
Right on, man. Thank you. I think for me, I'm addicted to the process of, of music. The whole making it thing is just so fun. Whether the end product is even good, I actually that comes secondary almost, just to
Mm.
like you were saying, getting the momentum, right? That's the fun part where you start vibing, you get a cool thing going, and you're just making it. And then you think back, there's like always parts of an album that aren't fun, but overall the end result is that was a cool thing that happened there, no matter how bad an album is. So I'm addicted to the process. What is guitar? This is the guitar. What am I
This is a
supposed to do with
guitar.
it? Oh, okay. I can.
Can you play the beginning of Wish You Were Here?
He's gonna do it.
Something like that.
Yeah. Casey just hands you a acoustic guitar.
He's gonna
for
play
like,
some
it was like
Sepultura.
a 9-string guitar. He's like, hey, dude, play it.
Oh yeah, I'm like acoustic. I'm not used to 6-string, dude.
I know that's what I was about to say. Oh,
It was.
lost
It was
Cameron.
I'm coming back, maybe.
Yeah, I don't play 6-strings ever.
No, it sounds good, dude.
Nylons, dude, but I just saw Sepultura. Yeah, I'll hold this, dude, so you aren't like you just filled me in here. I just saw
just filled me up.
Sepultura, and it was hilarious, dude. I was sitting in the audience, and there's this dude next to me. For the whole show, he was fucking wasted, drunk. The whole time from the start they went on, he would go, "Boo, you suck." Where's
It's not Max Cavalera?
for
Yeah,
an
where's Max?
hour and a half? After a while, you're like, dude, why'd you come?
Why'd you purchase your
They
ticket?
purchased a
dude?
ticket to go. Where's Max?
With how many
Dude,
years
for
have
an
we
hour and a
known that
half.
Max has not been in Sepultura?
It's been like 2
How many
decades,
years?
right? That's like
Yeah.
2 decades.
It's longer that they've been playing like this than when they were
Yeah.
playing.
So that
Max,
just
but
goes to show that that's his one thing that he goes to when he wants to be a grumpy guy in his metal group of friends.
Yeah.
You know, that's all he is. It's just like, where's Max? And then he's so into it that he has to purchase a ticket to go to the current Sepultura.
Just go like boo about this ticket to boo.
boo,
Like, that's
dude, for
crazy.
hours, just boo. And then he started yelling, "Where's Max?" really loud. And then he started throwing shit. And I was having a ball next to him because, to be honest, in my head, I was going, "Dude, where's Max, man? It's been years." I'm not about to heckle though for hours.
Flies all over the place.
That's like not what I would ever do. But where's Max, man? For
Yeah.
I mean, you showed up to see like Andreas Kisser play. I'm like, right. That's why you went to a
Yeah,
Sepultura concert, right? Yeah.
and they
that's why you
played
go.
the hits that you would expect.
Yeah.
It's I did see a lady projectile vomit all over the crowd of the Warfield, and that made it worth the show too.
From the balcony.
Yeah.
No, dude, this was magic, absolute magic. From the front of the Warfield, started projectile vomiting, and she realized she was projectile vomiting, obviously, and she started running out the door. And instead of going to a garbage can, she decided to run up the stairs to the balcony too. So there was like a trail behind her. It was
up
great.
the stairs and everything.
Yeah, no one
God
seemed
damn.
concerned about it but me.
That's awesome. No, I got cut off with the internet, but I really resonate what you said about like the process, and like even when it's like done and even if it's not good, you're like, oh, that was cool, like that was fun. Like that's like
Oh yeah, totally.
that's my hands down like favorite thing about music. That's what always brings me back to music. That's always like the most integral part I love, you know. Like sometimes I'm not a huge fan of recording, especially like guitars. Like lately I've been doing a thing that's kind of cool. It's kind of reminds me of like back in the day when you would write songs using Guitar Tab Pro. Like you'd have your guitar and you'd write something.
You mean
and
back
like
in the
program
day?
it out.
Back in the
Yeah,
day,
and people,
Power
well,
Tab, dude.
yeah,
Back
a
in
lot
the
of people
today?
still do that. But
You mean like yesterday?
just like that's just how I used to write songs before I had a DAW, right? I just used to record them by, in tab programs. But when I got into recording, that kind of went out the window because I just would record it immediately and then forget it or have to relearn it later. But there was a shift when I started using MIDI as the bass. So I kind of use like the bass guitar as like the tablature function. And I got used to like writing a riff, kind of like recording the rough and then writing the bass and then re-recording the guitar to what the bass was playing. But there's some great virtual instruments out there now that actually sound pretty good in terms of like it sounding like a guitar. I mean, it really lacks like soul in the sense of like what you can get out of a guitar and whatnot. Of course, like it's gonna be perfect. Guitar is so nuanced, you know.
Yeah, no dynamics, or dynamics are there, but they're not dialed in.
Yeah. It's a long way from sounding like a guitar, but you know, on the same time, they also sound really good. Like sometimes I think they sound really good, but it's my main point is it kind of allowed me to write using just MIDI, and it's interesting because it's so methodical, and I'll write differently than I'll write with a guitar. But I've written MIDI so much to stuff I've played on guitar that I'm actually like kind of good at it now. And it's so methodical. And like I'm writing a record right now. I wrote Softly With You like that too. It was the whole thing I wrote in MIDI before I even picked up the guitar. And like I get so into these like MIDI songs. Like they don't quite sound like Game Boy music or whatever. I'm sure I could switch some sounds around. They would sound like straight up Game Boy 8-bit music, but like like they sound, all the instruments sound good enough to I can like really get the feeling of like what it's gonna sound in the end. And man, I'm having like the best time writing these stupid things. But I know like when I go to record it, it's gonna be like, all right, like
well, it's because you make it
working now.
You make your first connection with the MIDI sound. So there's severed songs, there's some Odia songs that my first introduction to those songs were on Power Tab or Guitar Pro, and I'd listen to them constantly, and I drill those songs into my mind in that form to where it's not that the actual music is less, you know, powerful than the Power Tab, Guitar Pro versions, whatever. I just made my connection with it, you know. So hearing the songs in MIDI form or 8-bit form or whatever first, if that's your first introduction to falling in love with those songs, you're always comparing the next versions to it. And that's kind of why we like, a lot of us like the demo versions of other bands' songs that, like there's a few Martyr songs that sound better to me in the demo form than they do in the final form.
It's like hearing the difference of like a really like defined like perfection recording, and then you hear like kind of like the actual roots of where it came from. And like it would be the difference of like, you know, listening to where people go like they don't have You should change your audio settings, dude. It's all dun. And
but that's that demo sound. That's
a demo sound.
Better than the final thing.
He's literally playing the guitar, and you can't. It's no notes are coming out. It's all.
Wish you were denied.
Wish you were denied, dude. No,
wish you weren't here.
Well, what is it you got going on there, dude? Wait, what was that?
Yeah, it's funny you guys are saying that too, because like when I recorded the guitars for Softly With You, I really felt like the songs like really came alive.
Yeah,
like I added, and it was also funny too because there was like stuff I wrote that like I just wanted to play different. So like the way it is on the album is actually like not exactly what I wrote, but it is more easy for me to play, and I actually like really like the sound of it quite a bit. But I had like these pre-production mixes of the album that were like literally like no processing, just everything was recorded, and I fell in love with the songs that way. And when I went to mix it, I actually like went through like 3 different mix iterations that, you know, I mean, in some like arguable ways you could be like, this sounds really good, like I can hear everything. but I thought that really took away from the songs. I was like, I can't hear the song anymore. I'm not listening to the song anymore. I'm listening to like whatever the drums are doing and stuff. And that kind of age old thing of like musicians in the studio, like I want to hear what I'm doing more. It's like, well, the big picture is the song, So I actually like reverted almost all of the processing back to like the pre-production processing and just like cleaned up a couple little things. And I was like, this is the song. Like these are the songs I
And
wrote.
being a one-man project, it's easier for you to see that and come to a solution with, you have much less of an individual saying, I want to hear myself, because you're making it all, And
yeah, true. But I still just think as like a music lover, I'd rather hear, I want the song to come through. Like, I think that's like kind of like a more philosophical thing that a lot of engineers talk about in the studio is like, how can I just make the song resonate emotionally and transcend, the furthest.
And that's what that's what I'm saying
though. Too. Like, I'm always into those like YouTube videos where there's interviews and there's the guy, I can't remember his name. It's like Butch. He did a bunch of the Nirvana stuff, and he was talking about those sessions.
Oh yeah. I've watched those sessions. Yeah, where he breaks it
there's
down.
Like there's like I think it's like Come As You Are or something, but it's like the version that's on that we all know is like a really like early jam of it that like they just were like this is it, like this feels the best. And I just like that kind of like decision making, not like let's go back and let's make this what it isn't kind of stuff.
And that's my point, is that it's easier for you to make the decision to remind yourself that it's all about the song, because there isn't multiple people with their egos involved and all that shit. It's like, it's just you and your own ego. Which, side note, dude, I just want to say on Softly With You, I have to look at the song list again, but Softly With You into Full Blossom into All For You, that is a serious combo right there, dude. Those three songs chunked together, I 100% can't pause it, can't rewind, can't fast forward. I have to be in that section right there. Those three songs back to back to back. Perfect, dude. Mwah, chef's kiss. Anybody here with me?
I'm here.
What happened there? Was it my internet?
I think he froze, and I was just like, he wasn't responding, and I just let it sit just to let you.
All right. Well, what I was saying was Softly With You into Full Blossom into All For You. And then he left. God damn it.
No, he didn't leave. His internet went down. But like, I saw him freeze, and you were like, dude, you're all compliment. And I just see him just like frozen in the corner. And like,
all I saw was a black screen and nobody was saying anything. I was like, oh,
no, I
shit,
have the admin console, so I could just see like his screen, and he's like frozen. And by the way, when you asked a question, Vaughn was hanging out in the thing, and it was like a kind of a long question. You guys were getting into it, and he just disappeared. And I was like, so we're texting him to come back on, because he was just like, you guys are like in a deep conversation. I'll come back in a little while. So Vaughn, which is going to be a surprise, but I just ruined it.
Cam,
what up, dog?
Dude,
that was hilarious. By the way, it was the best time to like freeze, because he asked, like, he was like, told you this like really in-depth feeling about these three songs together on your album. He's like, dude, I need to listen to these three songs at once. I can't listen to it's like a very beautiful thing. And I just see you in like my little, like, because he doesn't have like the admin thing. I see you like frozen in the bottom, and then like he sits there and he asks or he says it, and just no one talks, and it's just like complete silence. And I just let it sit. Just just get the organic.
And then I thought I froze, so I was like, is anybody here with me? I felt like I was lost in the void, dude. But Cam, what I was gonna say, can you hear me, bro? Oh, he froze again.
Quick, say it before I disappear.
All right, I was gonna say, Softly With You into Full Blossom into All For One is the perfect combo, dude. Those three songs in a row for me is something that I just have to experience all together. Once Softly with
bro.
You starts,
That's
I gotta
awesome.
stay in there, dude. And then the next, to me it makes sense. It makes like it seems like you paired them, or not paired them up because it's three, but you made that trifecta on purpose. I don't know if that really is the truth, but it's like that for me, you know.
I mean, I love hearing that. First of all, like I feel that way about certain movies, like No Country for Old Men's kind of like that. Like if I
Oh,
watch any scene, I'm
yeah.
like, God, I gotta watch the
Fuck
I
whole
was
thing
yes.
just
now.
talking about that this like right before the podcast.
Or like
That's great.
an album like that for me. I mean, there's a lot of albums like that for me. Um, I mean, I won't get in, but the one that's metal that really is like that for me is Emperor's Prometheus. Like I can't listen to one song without like just like,
Yeah.
all right, just let it let the rest play.
Fuck.
Like that album was like a dude.
Yeah.
No, I agree with everything that I didn't hear because of your internet, but I know what you were gonna be saying right there. That's true. That's an album that once you start, it's a Pringles bottle, dude. Once you pop, you can't stop type deal, you know,
We got a good
until the
freeze right
Pringles
here.
are gone.
Solid freeze.
Yeah, dude. Well, I love that he made an attempt to come on, and I hope his internet fixes itself so he can keep going with us. But if not,
I love
dude,
the freezes. But no, I get what he's saying though. It's like it'd be like jumping in the middle, like let's start this book and let's start from like chapter 7. Let's just go right. Let's just like we'll stop here. Start here. You know, like in the middle, like run your fingers through the pages, be like here, and just go. Like you
Mhm.
need like a lot of those like those albums that are kind of like made as a story. Like you can't
cover
just
to
like
cover. Yeah.
you can't just like just jump in like randomly. There he goes. Cameron.
Maybe he'll be back. He's welcome to come back the rest of the night, but I don't know if he
sure.
will. But yeah,
Um,
go support him. Disfiguring the Goddess, Big Chocolate, all those projects.
Yes, I speed
It's
to it.
all quality, dude.
Chris Mahara and the fucking the
No,
good stuff.
I want to talk to Ian for a little bit, dude. So we're 200 episodes in, dude. You've been hanging with us every week in the chat. Go do it. Are we still doing good at 200 episodes?
Hell yeah, man. I wouldn't watch if you weren't.
Hell yeah. That's rad, dude.
It's always a fun time. It's my Thursday normal. What's up, Mahar?
You got work in the morning after this every Friday?
Yeah, but I work at 11 to 8, which sucks.
You're good.
So
dude.
it's like a B shift. I want to
So
shout
when
out
we go
to,
late, you could still hang in there.
I got one of my mods is in chat too. Heavy Kettle. What's up, Heavy?
Yeah, I my eyes are too horrible. I have to like pay attention to one thing or the other, dude. So the chat goes off. I love you guys in the chat. I do catch it every now and then, but
I couldn't
I'm
see it
low.
either if I wasn't on a Mac because I'm sitting way back from my screen. I just double tap my mouse. I don't know if you know this on a Mac. It zooms your screen in wherever you double tap, so I can read the chat real easy. Then I just blow it back.
I have an old school one. Let's see what happens. No,
Yeah, you'd have to set it up in the mouse settings first. But
okay.
no, I love you guys' show, man. It's always fun. I can't believe it's got
dude.
200.
That's basically what we want it to be, is fun for everybody on a Thursday night.
We're just lucky we're able to find guests like that. People still want to keep coming on. You know, I don't know. For us, it's like it's always like an honor. It was like, oh, you want to come hang with us, dude? Fuck yeah, dude! Like it's like sick as fuck, and like it's like we've been inspired by shit like Sick Drummer for, like I said, like over 20 years and stuff like that, where it's like it's kind of like in a hosting platform of rad drummers, and it's just all positive. Like when I think of Sick Drummer from back in the day, I'm like, oh hell yeah, it's just all positive. You know, it's like you're just basically yeah, and it's rad what you've done, man. And so like I think we were just trying to do something similar in our own little way, and you know, like we got some long episodes and we goof around, and you know, there might be times where people get bored and stuff, and like we're just having a good time doing it, so we want it to be fun, so like we just enjoy it and stuff, but like we super appreciate it when people are like stoked and And like we've been super honored by some of the guests we've had on. It's like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Okay. Like
Yeah.
I'm like getting off work on a Thursday. I'm like, we're gonna interview who? Okay, holy shit,
Appreciate
and like
that.
it's just fucking awesome. And so yeah, like we've looked up to you for a long time, Ian, like with Sick Drummer and stuff. And like, yeah, you've always been an awesome homie. And like, so yeah, like you're like an inspiration to us for sure.
I think we share a common goal with
Yeah.
Ian. Ian is just of the the generation down the road from us, but he had the same.
That's a nice way of saying you old fucker.
No, but I'm saying like we look up to you guys as OGs, and so we see what you guys are doing, and all we're trying to do is archive what we feel is greatness. We are trying to preserve. We can't fuck with time. We're not time masters. We can't do time machines and all that kind of shit. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to preserve the best parts of our lives through art, and it's happens to be a musical art that we're trying to archive, and that's all it is, dude. Just now we're trying as much to talk to the people that we looked up to, trying to show people the new shit that's coming up, trying to talk to our contemporaries, our peers, and just get everybody's story so it's archived in a way that there is a niche little group of people out there in the world that want to hear this stuff. A 15-minute interview, you're not going to get much out of a person and really get to know them in a 15-minute interview.
No,
It's mostly going to be about their gear and
it's like trying to get an ad workout in 6 minutes.
yeah, no, it's not
can't
going to
do that.
work. So if you just open it up like a those open world video games where there's no real boundaries, then you eventually get all that information you're looking for as a death metal nerd when you're listening to this,
Well, in the beginning of Sick Drummer, I did want it to be a full-time thing. You know what I mean? And I really went after it hard, but it was difficult during the time of when print was the main medium for advertisers to try and take digital money from, people that were older than me and just used to print. So now here we are, fast forward 18 years later, and I'm so busy with my regular job. I mean, I don't make a lot of money with Sick Drummer. I've spent more on it than I've ever made, really. And now at this point, being my age, it's like just a work of passion. It's something I look forward to, after a long day of work. I don't look forward to. I look forward to doing stuff with Sick Drummer and playing my drums. I play my drums more now than I did when I was 28. You know what I mean? And I'm 52.
That's rad.
And it's something to look forward to every single day, and it helps. And it's a workout too. And I also want to say hi to Soli, my other mod. Soli's the best fucking mod on Twitch, by the way. No,
shout out. We see Soli in there week by week. I see that name, no doubt.
Fucking Sayo's in here, and Sam. They all watch my channel all the time, man. Thank you guys for showing up here. I know you guys pop on Cali all the time too, but
yeah,
you guys rock.
No, dude, we have a nice little crossover here, dude. And
hell yeah,
I'm unmuted. I was like, yeah, dude, totally. Bob, I was like talking, and but I remember Sick Drummer like back in the day, like so like at the shows going like, hey, we want to record your set, blah blah, like fucking pushing 20 years, like back in the day. That was like a cool concept because for metal and especially extreme metal, like the drummers were always the ones that were kind of like the outwardly, if you didn't know an instrument, you would know that they're insane. Like if you don't know guitar, the drummer is out of their fucking mind. Like my dad is like into like jazz and like some classic rock stuff. That's like but like he remember when first time he saw Casey play, he's like, what the fuck is that? He was like, he had like a visceral kind of feeling because he was like, I don't even like, that's insane what's going on back there, like understanding the drums and like understanding like like for what he knows the drums to be versus like seeing like oh, he loves it, dude. Casey, my dad likes you a lot, dude.
Gross.
No, my dad was always like, dude, he's like, him and his best friend now is like a real amazing jazz drummer, prog drummer, and they just drink whiskey and like YouTube drummers and bass players and guitar players. They just like that's like my dream old man move. Just like sit back and just watch. Like, you ever heard of this guy yet? You ever heard of this guy? Like, just sit back and just like show off after all their years of experience. And like,
that's what I do now.
I know I do. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I feel like
That's my whole thing.
I jumped about 20 years. No, it's
But you
seriously
met. Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm delayed.
No, I was just going to say with Ian, you mentioned, you poured more money into it than you made from it, but that wasn't the point. And I know that you knew that wasn't the point a long time ago. We are in this shit. There's no money in death metal. There's no money in underground metal in general, really, unless you want to, sell your soul to the touring gods and be gone for 8 to 10 months out of the year to make it like a livable thing. So the reason why we've been doing this shit for as long as we have is because there's a different currency, which is, what we get out of our own project and we get out of the people that enjoy it too. So getting the feedback about Sick Drummer Magazine and getting all the subs and throughout the years and it never stopping, that was your currency, and that and it even gives back to you to now have a resurgence where you're 52 and you're getting this feedback that's keeping you wanting to play your instrument. Yeah,
that, and I don't pay for concerts. That's a nice little perk too. Anybody comes through town, I'm on the list. Like this weekend, I'm going to see Beat. And
I just saw them. I saw their first show. It was in
nice
in San Jose. It was.
I'm so stoked, man.
So funny, dude. It was one of the funny because my dad is like, and brought his wife, and then I brought my wife, and then we went there like thinking, I was like, did you explain any of this to your wife? Like what we're gonna be hearing with this era of King Crimson, and it just started off like doon, and like she's like very prone to like headaches and like migraines and stuff. And she's like, I'm gonna go get a beer, and just never came back. And it was like 3 or 4 minutes into it, and I whispered to my dad, I was like, did you tell her what era of King Crimson was? And she's all no, and started laughing. And I was like, dude,
that's so great. I'm so excited, dude. I'm so excited. I'm a huge Crimson fan. I saw them in 1993, all the original members. Well, not original members, but it was Levin, Fripp, Ballou, and
God, Fripp and Ballou together. I've never seen that.
My brain. Bruford, yes.
Oh, it was Bruford.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and it was one of the best shows still I've ever seen. So I just hit up Rain and Bozio, who you guys know from being on Twitch and whatever else, and I'm like, Rain, I'm going to see Beat on Saturday. Can you hit up Danny Carey and see if he's got some time for a quick meet afterwards? So he's like, yeah, sure, brother. So
damn,
I got. First of all, I did have to buy a ticket for this one because I didn't want to ask anybody for it. But my wife got me one through a friend of hers at work and some military thing. And the tickets, I was about to buy one last Thursday, $128, and I didn't buy it. And then the next morning, my wife texted me from work. She goes, I got you a ticket to Beat. You're right in front of the soundboard. And it was $17. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, and I get to hang out with Danny afterwards. So,
dude,
that's part of the perks, that I enjoy now from all the work I've done with Sick Drum.
Your social media is such a contrast, dude. Being a friend with you on social media, it's like, here's a picture of delicious food. Here's my family. Here's when I'm gonna be streaming on Twitch or doing a live Sick Drummer interview or some shit like that. And here's a celebrity that I hang out with. That's literally the 4 things that you see from Ian, dude.
Danny Carey seems like a sweetheart.
Food, family, Sick Drummer Magazine, celebrities.
I feel like if you get Danny Carey like in a friendly environment, like I feel like he shows up to like I've talked to Intronaut guys. He like would show up to their shows and just hang out. Like he's into like going to shows and just like chilling and wants to see cool music. But he seems like one of like the nicer, like quote unquote celebrities in music. He's
like Steve Vai.
Yeah,
Steve Vai is like adorable. Like
I met Steve Vai about 4 months ago when he came through with the Statch Vai tour, and I'm not talking bad about anybody, but he had a weird vibe to him. Like the whole crowd at that show was like
super weird.
It was like mom rock, mom car, rock, and like divorced dads, like the whole crowd.
Yeah,
And
that's how the beat. That's how the beat shit was.
the VE sign and the leather pants, and I don't know, he was just staring at my wife like all creepy and shit. I'm like, wow, this is weird, man. It's just kind of weird.
One thing, actually, you know what you look
Like,
for at prog shows?
Don't make it obvious, bro. You can look.
I got a fun game for you though. You look when you go to prog shows or any of those like more of the obscure prog stuff. You just count how many like gray ponytails you can find. And, there's literally like at least like a quarter of the audience has a gray ponytail. Just
and
a
I
gray
didn't know people
ponytail.
still
Just
wore, I didn't know people still wore Coda jackets, but
I love prog crowds are my favorite in the world. Like going to a prog show, it's like the most respectful place I've ever been in. It's like going to like a Comic-Con or like a Lord of the Rings meet for people that are like 50 and older. Like it's like everyone's
the
like,
cheesiest shit was going to see Satriani. I know you're talking prog. He's not really prog, but Satriani at the Warfield. So I go there and I'm with a coworker at the time, and we were vibing. Satriani's sick to watch. The virtuoso guitar shit, whatever. But then he leaves the stage, and then they have staff walking around and handing out Satriani face masks that you have to hold in front of your face, and he's comes back out on stage like, oh my god, I didn't know you guys were gonna do that.
Oh my god, it's such dad.
Like I had no idea, dude. This is crazy that you guys did this.
Pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
And then I'm supposed to like stand there and be like, all right, dude. Now
they're leaning into their
3 songs.
They're leaning into the dorkiness, which I appreciate a little bit. It's kind of like it's the dad shred. It
made me feel like not only did he know, but it was his idea. That's what it made me feel like,
Yeah.
Like I gotta come back out to see everybody wearing my face if you want me to do an encore. Joe Satriani. I don't know if that's true, but maybe you can come on the show and tell us about it in year 5.
I didn't realize until a few months ago when I saw them. I didn't realize that Steve Vai actually took lessons when he was a kid from Satriani.
Yeah, that's the original teacher of him. And then Satch also taught Kirk Hammett, right? Kirk Hammett. And
mad respect.
Yeah.
And let me answer Chris Mahara in the chat. Yes, this kid was a game changer. Chris has the same kid.
On the dude.
Chris has the same kid. And
here's Ian being a chatter and being like, they don't always answer our shit, dude. I'm gonna answer it for him while I'm on the show.
No, it was a game changer because the house I live in and the situation I'm in, I can't have my acoustic drums in here to play at night. So total game changer because I can play these at 3 a.m. and nobody hears it but me. It's awesome.
That's rad. That's awesome. That's cool.
What's your youngest kid?
We got another joinee.
Not young anymore. 21 and 23 guys. What's up, Vaughn?
What's happening?
What up, dude?
How's it going, dude?
Sophie
Casey, I like your new setup, dude. The casting couch.
Yeah, casting couch. I got Nate auditioning for my.
Dude,
they keep going to the bathroom at the same time.
I don't know what time it is. I mean, I know what time it is over there. It's pretty late over here, so I figured it's time for some after hours humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is the after hours.
The after hours,
like dude, after hours jazz guitar.
Dude, for the listeners, let me just introduce him real quick. Vaughn Stoffi from the infamous Defeated Sanity just popped in.
Dude,
the shit, 4 years, baby. 4 years of sickness.
Hell yeah, dude.
Top tier brutal death metal and beyond interviews and insights and bullshit, and it's great.
Yeah, dude. And you were I texted you, and I'm being truthful when I say that you're one of our favorite guests, dude. That's why you're 100%. Here with us to celebrate, dude.
Well, I appreciate any opportunity to come and fuck around with you guys. So
I actually was driving home from work today and was thinking about you coming on, and I was like thinking about how insanely talented of a guitar player you are, and I might have asked this question last time because it comes up every time I see your face.
200
just like you know, so trained and you know, you like in the theory and all the things, and then you run into defeated sanity to like put that into like a musical sense from your brain being trained to play music in a certain way. How did you like kind of how did you turn that into like defeated sanity? How did you turn like because defeated sanity is like such a breathing band. It's not like it's just basically vibe kind of like changing and breathing and going in and out of things. And how did you change your brain to know from like, you know, like, oh, this is this scale to this scale to like going to defeated sanity?
Well, you know, the thing about it is, like any seminal band, like that's been around
Mhm.
as long as Defeated and as long as Lil has been doing it with, you know, the excellent cast of characters that he's had through the years. Um, there's a language, you know what I mean? Like if,
Mhm.
or, you know, I think about like if you listen to Effigy of the Forgotten, for example, and then
Yeah.
you go to even like Souls to Deny, there and or even the most recent Suffo record, you know, when Hobbs is at the forefront writing that material, like you hear his language, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
And Defeated's no different. So I think part of it is becoming familiar with the tendencies that Lilla has in
Mhm.
how he constructs the music. And what's great now is, you know, Lila and I were even rapping about this earlier today, where now that we went through the process of making the new album and,
Mhm.
you know, everything that required and what the band was collectively reaching for, it really has informed a deeper understanding of the whole catalog. You know, ideally, as an artist, you always want to be moving forward, right? With
Yeah.
not only what you write, but your execution and all these intangibles. And it's like, I think the key has been kind of equal parts bathing in Lila's language through, you know, having to learn the back catalog. But I also think that having been present for the inception of new music and then having that be taken through the process that music goes through from the demo stage to a fully realized album has kind of just reinforced a lot of the tendencies that I started to pick up on in his music. You know,
Mhm.
the thing with the only thing I can say about like the background I might have is because I spent so much time in the jazz thing and even in studying classical music, like analyzing or looking into different composers or soloists, improvisers, like improvising soloists, like how they deal with their own musical language. It also helped me identify the language of defeated sanity when it came time to have to immerse myself in that music. If that
Totally.
Yeah.
kind of makes sense, you know?
That
Yeah.
totally
So,
makes sense, dude. And I was also going to say, just for the listeners that haven't listened to your episode, go back and listen to Vaughn's solo episode. He's also been on for another anniversary episode and a full Defeated Sanity thing too. But if you haven't listened to any of those, listen, because Defeated was your first introduction to death metal, wasn't it?
Damn straight. Yep.
Isn't that wild? It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the first thing that he came across in this, you know, little underground rabbit hole, and now he's fully flourished as a death metal musician in the
that's
band
why
that he
it's
first
so
came across.
amazing to me. Yeah, that's why it's so amazing to me, like knowing your journey and talking about in that episode, going back to all the amazing musicians you played with, and
It's like me
going
joining Morbid or Cannibal. The first
no,
I
it's like
can't
no, it's like you
pinpoint.
joining. It's like you joining like Maroon 5. I don't know, like a band completely outside your like your comfort
Maroon
zone.
5.
It's like a
Maroon
band.
5, yeah,
It's
dude. Defeated
no, Maroon 5 is
Sanity
a
is
terrible one.
Maroon 5.
It's a terrible.
And
That's a terrible. No, I'm saying like you jumping outside, like because you knew jazz, you knew all these things, and like you understand patterns, you understand a lot of these things, and to understand like their language, and not have it like as a written format as like classical music or jazz is, and understanding defeated sanity, but as like
well,
a just a
okay,
pattern in your head. No, I mean That's one thing that I'm completely blown away with is
Let's give
fact that
Vaughn
he
a little
took it.
more credit with the fact that learning the language, because
That's a lot
that's
of credit.
exactly Wolfgang.
That's a lot of credit.
Wolfgang did, dude. Wolfgang learned the language through
Oh, I had a
Lillet
good
as
question.
well.
Well,
And
you know, the thing about it is too, like it's like equal parts language as far as like the rhythms and the notes themselves, but then with all of that, and something that's definitely become a lot more realized through touring and playing live a lot and
Mhm.
listening back to that stuff is like there are certain elements or aesthetic choices that fit with Defeated that aren't necessarily objective. Like, you know, it's not like it is with the tech thing where you're trying to hit this quota of perfection where it's okay, everything has to be equal parts, you know, delivered with a certain, which I love, by the way, like for the record, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's multiple styles.
But there's different ways to do that too,
Yeah.
and where those quotas don't always need to be met. It's just about the feel.
Yeah, it's a feel thing, like with how like these nuances that, quite frankly, when I was here and we were talking about joining Defeated, whenever that first episode was, right? There was still so much that I was pretty ignorant to that's I've become aware of, you know, that these details that are really integral to how the music is supposed to come across. And it's equal parts looking back on how Wolfgang and Christian Kuhn did it, but also trying to find my own solutions to achieve a similar aesthetic, you know. And just for people listening, like, I know this is really esoteric, but to put it in more of a practical term, it's like, be it like how the squeal needs to be articulated in the left hand, or the fretting vibrato, or how certain things should be bended. Like, I mean, to me, like, two pillars of this in their own playing who exemplify this at the highest level are Ron Kashnik and Diego Sanchez, because those guys have such a style embedded in how they play the guitar and how they write. And the goal with Defeated is always not necessarily to be the most precise all the time, especially because, you know, we're pretty much raw dogging it still. It's very trench compared to a lot of the tools that modern bands rely on.
Click tracks and stuff like that.
We don't have any of that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
And therefore, there's always going to be that margin of error that's just embedded within the process of having to create that music without any of those.
And for a guy my age,
you know,
that experienced that band and experienced other bands, that adds to the allure.
Yeah, I think that's what that's the thing. It's like it's not about playing the shit perfect every night. And even in the studio, it wasn't like that. Like, you know, we were doing a lot of long scope taking. Like, you know, Lillet released a drum playthrough for the first single we did off the new album, Odor of Sanctity. If anyone is interested, hasn't heard it yet, you know, it's brutal for sure.
Keep it.
You know, but like Lillet, even his playthrough video that he did, I mean, that's a one take performance. And basically his drums were delivered as such. Jacob and myself, you know, we did a little more doctoring as the strings do. You know, that's just the modern way of recording. But there was a lot of things that we left in unedited because that's, like you're saying, Anthony, that's part of the allure. That's part of like the spirit of the music as I've always perceived it, you know?
Right.
Like I was listening to the Inherit Disease demos. They're from like 2003.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think it would really pass the benchmark of even the modern demo standard today. But there's a quality to the performance that's just like, it's a spiritual thing for me. You know what I mean?
It's very organic. I know exactly what you're talking about, dude.
It's rock and roll, you know, it's got to be rock and roll.
You mentioning that literally transported me back to Corona at the Showcase Theater the first time I ever met Obi. And Obi handed me that demo on a little burned disc, and and I had that same exact experience with you, listening to it. Like, it was spiritual in a sense of, I not only did I have a connection with this human before I listened to their music, now I know that I'm tethered to somebody down here in SoCal, you know?
Well, that's the other thing too. I mean, you know, aside from all of the like, aside from the experience of getting to obviously play this music in this band that I dreamed of being in, and getting to foster like personal relationships within the band itself, you know, like, I mean, especially coming off the last tour we did in Asia, like, I feel like we're like a family now, having gone through that experience and
Right.
everything that comes with that kind of
Awesome.
touring. But what's even deeper is just getting to then connect with all these other great musicians all over the world, like you
Totally,
guys.
dude.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, I mean, I really wish I could have come down to Texas Domination Fest and just
Bro,
off the
I
side.
got a huge hug for you when we finally
Hell yeah,
get into
dude.
a physical space together.
Yeah, man.
But
And it's
go
like
ahead.
so inspiring to see other people doing their shit at a high level too. Like, I feel like that is almost giving me more of a buzz these days than even stuff within Defeated at times.
Oh,
like-
totally, dude.
Like, we were in Thailand, and we got to watch Pole Walk rehearse, not with Ecchymosis, but his other band, Biomorphic Engulfment, which I have to plug while I'm here, because for anyone listening who's into just top tier brutality and but speed, great writing, just it checks every box for me, right? To watch Pole Walk, like, we're sitting in their rehearsal space in Bangkok, and I'm like watching him play this stuff. Like, for anyone that doesn't know Pole Walk,
He is ridiculous.
he's like the Thai blast king. You know what I mean? Like, and his snare drum, that ping sound that he gets on those Ecchymosis records and everything else that he does, Cat of Veracity, like this, what people categorize as like the Thai ping, right? That Southeast Asian ping sound. You hear it in the Indonesian bands too. Like, his snare drum sounds like that in the rehearsal room. It's really deep, you know. But
Yeah.
just being there with those guys, and I was like, man, like, this music brought me across the world where I could actually in the flesh get to experience this guy playing music, and it's just fucking amazing. You know what I mean?
It totally is,
that's
dude.
one of those things that, on top of just the thrill and experience of getting to being Defeated, it's almost like that hypes me up even more. Or like, you know, Vitriol came to town a couple weeks ago, and I'm watching Matt Kilner, and I'm just like, this guy is unbelievable. You know,
the real deal, dude.
Like,
Kilner is ridiculous.
But I could say the same about, you know, Severed Savior or shit, Casey. Dude, the stuff that you're involved in right now.
Stay on the couch, Casey.
Bro.
Stay on the couch.
Bro.
He hates compliments. Keep complimenting. Go.
Can't wait.
Dude, I feel like you can leave the adult industry behind. You're on to bigger.
No more casting on the couch, dude. You don't need to do it anymore, dude.
Casey, real quick.
Dude, that's so fucking funny,
I'm gonna
dude.
cut the bullshit, but to be really serious, like, tell me while I'm here and tell the world, like, if you guys might have done it already, but for me, for your boy, just catch me up on what's going on with that project. I saw with Season of Mist, so we're label mates now.
Hey,
so maybe a little Defeated.
it got announced. You can say a little bit, Casey. You can say a little bit.
But tell me about that.
It's very exciting.
Oh, it is very exciting. That's well, so I can't say a lot yet. I can say that.
But you can do surface stuff.
Yes. Dennis was gonna try to pop on tonight, but he can't because it's like 4 a.m. in Sweden at 7, and then like he just couldn't stay up, but he had like a crazy long work day and stuff. But he like wished us all the best and was down
look out for a retro episode in the future.
Please.
Yeah, and like
hell yeah.
We just we're at the early stages of like like announcing shit, so we can't like say a lot.
But you can
yet,
you
but
can say
it's-
the name of the band, right?
Well, yeah, and it's gonna come out in 2025.
The
Obviously,
name is
what?
Retromorphosis.
My name?
Casey,
Retro-
Casey
scream
Howard.
it, scream it from the highest Cali peak.
Yeah.
Yes, Retromorphosis.
Why do I have full screen back? That's weird.
Because you can't control the video because that's now it's up
I-
to me.
I
So now
can't.
I get to do
It's
this to you
so-
now.
Full's doing this to me. Anyways, the point is,
So now you get to deal with this now.
basically, yeah, dude, I'm super amped on it. I can't wait for everyone to hear it and shit.
You
Like
can you can name the lineup too, right?
yeah, well, that's yeah, it's basically in curso, but I got asked to play drums on it, and I was super honored, and I did it, and I'm
Basically
super
in
happy.
cursive.
Casey, but
A part of
Casey,
Spawn of Possessions in
Casey,
cursive.
Yeah.
Casey, like, can we just, for me, as a fan first, mind you, like,
Nice.
I'm a fan.
Get it.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck Defeated Sanity. Like, I'm a fan. You know
I'm
what I
a
mean? I want you to name drop for me on my behalf the guitar players that are on that album, because those guys are
Oh, yeah,
those are the dudes that
Yes. Yes.
really
yeah.
make me get up and practice every day. You know what I mean? Like, come
Yeah.
on, like,
Well,
100%.
what I gotta say is like so like I was asked, you know, like we were talking about it and stuff, and Dennis, and like I can't like spill like a lot of information, but like it was written, and I thought it was really cool, like how it was written, and I heard the music, and I was like, this is really fucking rad. And then it just became like putting the drums together and doing all that stuff, but I can't like go into detail and stuff. But like, yeah, I mean, it was yeah, you just got to hear it, dude. It's really cool. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna
I
say
think
something.
that
I'm
you-
not supposed
who
to say.
played
You can say
guitars
more than
on
you
the
think you
album,
can.
Casey? You can say that.
Casey, who
Yeah,
played
yeah,
guitar?
yeah.
Who played
It's
guitar?
already
I'm
been
scared.
announced. Like
scared
everybody's
I'm
in
gonna
the
get yelled at.
picture. Everybody's in the picture.
There's
You-
already an artist
Yeah.
page up on it on Season of Mist, so
I
you can
know,
say
it's
it.
already been.
Yeah. No. I gotta say too, like, okay. So Christian is obviously like one of the greatest
Christian who?
metal guitar
Christian
players.
who?
Question who?
Christian, dude. You know, come on.
Oh, he's scared of
Yeah.
the last name? Moonzer? Is it Moonzer?
What?
Yes.
It's all been
Sven
announced he's in the
Munzner.
band. I'm not
Munzner.
saying. Yeah.
I know, but like for
Obviously.
people that haven't heard this before, it's like
It's
he's
so
asking.
weird to me. At least I'm on a couch. It's just so weird. I'm like, why am I? Anyways, the point
Casey,
is,
you would
All
never
right,
make
Nate, get him, Nate.
all I'm trying to say is that like he's such a great guitar player for, you know, like Obscura and of course Necrovagus and all that kind of shit. But like I just love my favorite thing is people's writing. Like people like they write something for something, and then sometimes you write something and then you're like, oh, for this project and this, and wow, it came out really interesting for this project and this person writing for this project. And I gotta say, like, his solos are to me like really fucking interesting, like, and really rad. So I don't know, but I'm scared to. I feel like I'm not supposed to say anything. Like
I know,
gotta just-
Well,
You can
okay,
talk
but
about,
Casey,
like, how
stop
good
being
it is.
scared, because I literally just pulled up information on the internet. You
yeah.
can say the information
Anthony
that's
posted-
already on the
posted
internet. And
I just
pulled
don't
it
want
up,
to
dude.
piss anybody off, and we're not.
No, the
supposed to talk
lineup to
about
the
it.
band is Jonas Bristling from Spawn of
Yeah.
Possession, Dennis Rondum from Spawn of Possession, Christian Muenzner. Sorry, I love you. But everybody
Munzer.
We've had
knows
him on, yeah.
Obscura.
Dude,
Everybody who's in this band except for Erlen, by the way. We need to
Oh,
get
Erlen, I love
back
that guy.
on, dude. Erlen is most definitely should have been on the show within 200 episodes. What do you think?
He
Am I
doesn't-
wrong?
know,
Am I right?
He's very he's not like a big guy.
I mean, we have
social
personal
guy.
connection. We have a personal
know.
connection. But
But he's not-
Erlen,
he's-
brilliant bass player. He was
Probably the
on
best.
Spawn
I would say the best. I'll say it the best that I've ever heard in like any
most
kind of.
entertaining extreme metal bass player to watch. When
Oh,
you're
yeah, for me personally, I would. I mean, everyone else has. Oh, we got Josh, Joshy boy. So, what do you think
nice.
about Erlen Casperson of Spawn of Possession and all those bands? What do you think? Wicked sick, dude.
Wicked
Let's
sick
get that.
indeed.
Hey, girl.
Your mic's not connected.
Mike's
but,
not connected.
I think I heard it's through your audio. or your
While he
video
does
camera.
that, let me just say
and then
one
let me
thing real
just-
quick, if I may.
Yes.
One,
Who's
Vaughn.
Yeah.
We been talking to Will at Season of Mist, and we're doing the next playthrough for Lille.
Oh, awesome. Killer.
Spawn of Possession and Curso and Theory and Practice Colonizing the Sun are my ever favorite two fucking prog albums. And
Hell yeah.
I just wanted to get that in before Josh fixed his mic and says
No
something.
doubt. And side note for Lole, another plug on his Ingurgitating Oblivion. Was it like a 11 or 12-minute playthrough of one song that he just put out recently? He's the drummer on the new Ingurgitating Oblivion record. Highly recommended. Very fun to watch that guy play. So giving him.
I want to throw out one last rant because I know this is a celebration.
Get it? Yeah.
And,
fuck
and
yeah.
then we're gonna chop the head off of it. You know. It's just in the ether of wherever the conversation goes. But one thing I want to say, and especially while we have Ian here, I love everything you guys do at Sick Drummer. I personally spend most of my free time after hours watching drum playthrough videos, even as a guitar player. Like I just watch, even if there's no backing, even if it's just a dude blasting to nothing. Like that's
funnest instrument to be
gets
watching.
Thank you. Thank you. I watched Casey's Casting Couch.
Yep.
Oh man, this is not what I intended to know.
He's all, dude, we get a sick couch, two
Sometimes
bros
the
hanging out.
professional chooses you, Casey.
They're
I'm
all
like-
sitting like farther apart.
I told Nathan I had a great opportunity for him. Or
But-
Nathan.
Nate's like, God damn it.
Nate.
Real quick, what I want to
I
throw
feel like
out
the real issue is I don't have a second mic to like chime in any of this, dude. So like I'm just like the gay dude on the couch now. So you know, which is all good.
I know, dude.
You know,
Yo,
here I
mean,
am.
given the Hawaiian vest that Casey's wearing, I feel like the gay guy on the couch is not a question that way.
I didn't want him to be able to interrupt me. wanted to
I love you,
control him.
Casey. Casey, you're a beast. I'm just fucking trolling, dude.
Oh,
He's
no, I
in
love
he's
it,
in
dude.
fucking New
Don't-
York, dude. You gotta
please,
fucking bust some balls.
Yeah,
Bust some
No, I know, I
balls.
love it.
but
You're in New York, dude. I want that whiplash. Give me that fucking whiplash. Yeah.
There have been several trips to the bathroom, I've noticed, by the way. Just saying.
2 for me.
I'm gonna piss around.
Oh, dude, we
gonna
go to
piss
the
again.
bathroom all the time, bro.
We pit a lot of liquids. We're a very hydrated podcast, dude.
Yeah,
Very specific.
whatever, dude.
real
Yeah,
quick,
that's party break.
All right, Vaughn. Yeah, Vaughn didn't finish his thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, Vaughn, you need the rant. Vaughn has a
Let,
rant.
let the man finish.
so something that I know is always a concern for Lila. Whether he's comfortable with me airing it out or not is irrelevant because it's happening, and it's a good cause. He is so hyper aware of the fact that there are certain elements of his drumming that aren't in line with as he perceives it, and as a lot of the extreme metal community in general perceives it as like top tier death metal drumming. You know, we think about guys like Longstreth and Coleus and Roddy, who are gods. Like, I'm not to take away from any of these people.
It's subjective for sure.
But the thing about Lila, and be it with the defeated stuff, the ingurgitating stuff, I mean, and to me, what I feel is almost more important than the physicality of any instrumentalist. And you could say the same thing about a Christian Menzner. You know what I mean? You can say the same thing about a Trey from Morbid Angel. It's like at the end of the day, it's about style. Like this music to me is about style. Like who brings their own flavor to the extremity, you know? And in a period of time where there's this huge deliberation going on online, Ian, I'm sure you're seeing all of this stuff, like with this Archspire audition and drummers calling each other out and this and that.
It's ridiculous.
I tell Lila, I say, bro, if anything, this is affirmation that like you're doing it the true way.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe surface level people aren't going to recognize it because you're not blasting with single kick drums at 300 beats a minute. But like, at least this is subjective for me. What I look for in all the music I love, not just death metal, but music, is personality. You know,
Totally, dude.
And it's not even because of this, you know, the technical things that Lilith plays or Coleus plays. You know, it's just like when you hear Flow Blast, you know it's Flow. When you hear Mike Smith Blast, you know it's Mike. When you hear Steve from Deicide, you know what I mean. And that's
there's a traditional death metal drummer that is the Roddy and these types of guys, and they have their own category for me. You know, that is the traditional quintessential, you know, straightforward death metal drummer, right? But then there's that other subcategory, which is you know, the Sean Reiner, the Lille, these other guys, Steve from Atheist, and all these other bands,
you know,
that would have their own versions of taking from everything and incorporating, and those guys stand out. And I put Lille in that category with those guys. That's
agreed 100%. Vaughn, you're correct. He has his own distinguishable style, almost like Heller does in the way he's so linear. Lille, if I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry.
No, you're on it.
He has that quality. He's so different, like Heller is in that regard. The way he plays, I know I can listen to. It doesn't matter who plays it. I know if Heller wrote it. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So,
you know, and at the end of the day, I feel like in an age when the music is so oversaturated with speed and density and this and that, it's like if you can find a way to bring something to the table that's like unique, you know, that's more challenging than blasting at 300,
right?
To me, you know, because you don't hear a lot of that stuff versus, you know, like an Alex Marquez, Lee Harrison. I mean, the list goes on and on of guys who they have such a distinguished approach to playing extreme metal drums, and none of them sound like each other. You know what I mean? Like none of those guys sound like each other.
No, they're all from Florida.
Yeah, they're all from Florida. That's kind of the crazy part, right? They're all from the same area code.
Except for Longstreth. Everyone else you mentioned pretty much is.
Well, we've talked about, you know, the cliques and the communities and being a tight-knit group of bands. You have that healthy competitiveness within that little posse that you put together. And that's what I think is the seed of making all those individual unique versions of extreme music. We all love extreme music, but at the same time we're so close to what's happening in this little bubble, but you have enough of an ego to want to be outside of anything else in that bubble. You want to be contributing your own version of something to it. And I think that those pockets like Florida, California, New York, and Texas, and all these other places happen because it's a community. You build a small community, and then you try and be an individual in that community.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Mahar in the chat from Albany too.
Yo, Chris Mahar is the man. Chris Mahar is the man. One of the sickest.
Absolutely.
Shadow Cat. I met him through Longstreth up in like the Saratoga area. We hung out a couple times when I would go up there with John and just fuck around and stuff. But yeah, Chris Mahar, a monster. You know, played with Skinless. I know, right? He was playing with Skinless for a period of time, and I think he did some other stuff. But yeah,
you put a couple videos of you playing with John recently.
He was Suffocation's
on, right?
Yeah, man.
Suffocation's drum tech when we
Staples left.
So I got to. No, he had a issue with his mic.
Yeah,
but as far as like
No.
Fucking Staples. Staples is the man. But yeah, even Mahar's going like, is that fucking Staples?
Yeah.
You got Josh.
No, it's like Mahara was like fucking one of the funnest guys to tour with. Like that in my lifetime, it's fucking awesome drummer, awesome drum tech. I can tell I have shitty internet right now, so you got Josh is coming back. Josh,
all right, good.
Hey, Josh, can I hear you?
Yeah,
there you go.
Me?
Fuck yeah.
Josh is back, dude. Shout out Josh Staples, dude. Thanks for coming back on again, dude.
Have you met Vaughn
Solid.
ever, Josh?
Yeah, I was on the bus there outside Sonia Vaughn talking shit. With,
We were in Boston, baby.
with Paul.
Yeah,
I remember,
How
man.
could you
I
tell?
remember
How
it,
could you tell?
the Middle East, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fucking fun night.
Oh man, the energy was the energy was great. You know, that's one of those just like really. I mean, had that like punk rock energy, you know, where like the kids were just hanging off the ceilings and stuff up there. It's like that's what it's all about, you know.
Just retarded. Fucking
Yeah, that was a good time.
No, that's the scene. I mean, Josh in his episode like explained that scene out, and it's like a completely different, like coming from the hardcore, like getting into like the death metal.
Hardcore.
Like it's kind of like that was kind of like the progression there. It wasn't just like metal wasn't accepted right in the beginning. It was kind of like a
yeah.
kind
Well,
of
it's been weird seeing how hardcore shit is now. It's
Yeah.
really weird.
That's
You
a
know,
whole other
like-
rant. That you could go on a whole.
Oh, yeah.
With that, bro. I'm with that.
No.
Like I love Earth Crisis, you know, but
Yeah.
and that kind of hardcore, like that, like you know, Crown of Thorns, and you know, like true hardcore. I mean, I don't know what like cancel.
I'm wicked tribal, bro. I pretty much only listen to New England shit.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I mean, I make exceptions. Like I just get down with 100 Demons. I'll drive around Worcester, just, you know, get down. I mean, I'll fuck with like Cold as Life from Detroit. And,
Fucking love your accent, dude.
You know,
Josh.
It's so fun just listening to you talk, dude.
Josh, you can
What's
maybe
up?
you could answer this for me or
all right.
educate me on this. And this actually was initially something that was brought about from other Josh, defeated Josh, because he's from Providence kid.
He's from Warwick.
Yeah.
Warwick.
Oh, that's right. No, you're right. He's right.
He put the war in the wick. Yeah.
But what's the
Never
deal
blow
with
out the
that band-
Eastern Candle.
That band Goratory. They're like a
yeah.
New England band, right? Goratory.
It's an institution.
Boston.
Yeah,
It's-
man. I'd never
there's,
heard that shit.
Darren Seska played with
Wow.
them.
Yeah, he put
Hey,
me
Darren.
Oh,
on.
that's everything. Oh, that's everything. So think about the lineage of Goratory for a second, because you've got these kids.
It's
that are
wild.
Like they started this band called Twisted Sacrifice when they were like 12, 13 years old and all that, Ashland, Massachusetts. And the band dissolves. And there's another band from Marlboro called Compost Pile with a drummer who comes in to the room and says, we should start something, you know, band's breaking up and all this shit. And they start Goratory, and they're a 6-piece band, 2 singers and all this, what have you. Lo and behold, they were like one of the second release, I think, on Amputated Vein Records. First band I knew that went over to Japan. You know, they did like a week-long tour there. They repped hard the old Gathering the Sick with Joe Hernandez down there in New Mexico. That was a huge pivotal thing for the band.
Shout out.
But ultimately, you know, Darren Seska comes into play. The band dissolves, and they form this other band, Burn in Silence, who I still don't really appreciate. But you know, it is what it is. But ultimately, Burn in Silence dissolves, and you know, my dear friend Max goes on to Black Dahlia. Actually, they go to the Despised Icon. So it's Max and Alan, both from Goratory, going to Despised Icon.
Yep.
They stop that. They eventually leave, and then you know, that's the whole story. But then Max ends up in Black Dahlia. Alan's now in Drop for a Cowboy.
Allison Job for a Cowboy. Yep.
Fucking serious shit. And you know, Adam the singer goes on. We do Sexcrement together, and you know, he does Sexcrement for a number of years. But Goratory is still kicking it. They just had their last album, Sour Grapes. I put that out on tape on Time Warn Records, my label.
I'll have to check it out. I gotta check that out.
Oh, you put on your label?
I hung out with Al in Maryland 2004.
That was like the earliest, like the second one.
Al was one of the guys that, because Goratory did play that year, and I was just a spectator, and we all stayed at the same Motel 6. That was so fucking cool to be 21 years old on the other side of the country, and the hotel you're staying at is everybody who's at the festival you're going to.
Whew.
So no matter where you turn, there is metalheads and people who want to be social. And I got pictures from, you know, Al to fucking dudes from Vomit Remnants, singer of Circle of Dead Children, just
Another great
all in the
band.
same-
Another
Yeah.
great band that Josh
Yeah.
turned me on to. Circle of Dead Children.
dude, so sick,
Oh,
so
yeah, hell
sick.
yeah.
It
Extreme.
really is really good stuff.
Extreme. You know.
And his vocals are some. He was in those top tier guttural vocalists that I would always looked up to as, you know, that's what you want to sound like if you're a guttural vocalist.
For sure.
And here I am outside smoking a cigarette with them outside my room because everybody's just, you know, room hopping and doing crazy shit and drinking and smoking weed, and you're fucking 21 at this 3-day metal festival that has all these sick bands, and you're just like, yeah, dude, I fucking made it out here. I got 5 packs of cigarettes and enough money for a 5 stack of CDs from the merch booths that are around, and Taco Bell for the next 3 days, you know.
That's all you need, Anthony.
And that's all you fucking
Yeah,
need at that age. That is the perfect amount. You're like, I have enough to eat, come home with some cool toys, and massive amounts of memories of seeing these sick bands play, plus new friends that are still with you today, you know.
Damn straight.
That's what's up, dude.
Damn straight.
I don't know why we
fucking
got
pre
on that.
MySpace too, bro. Fucking no real social media in 2004.
Oh, it was because of Al, and that's why we got to that.
Hey Joel,
There was
can
a
I
lot
interrupt?
of. We talked on the phone a lot, though. It was like friends back then. We was all always talking. It was even pre-texting, even and shit. And we'd spend hours together hanging out when they were, they went through numerous transitions, particularly in between like the first sexual intercourse into orgasm induced.
Rice on Suede needs to be talked about way more. I think
It's some of the best bass playing in the history of metal. My boy
at
Zach.
that time and what was going on in technical death metal, it was
That was up there. That was like when everything was blowing up with technical stuff.
it was
and,
a
like,
bar
hearing that.
raiser.
Yo,
It was a
Anthony,
bar
Earl,
raiser.
man. Let me interrupt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Ian,
I'm,
what's up,
I'm
Ian?
not trying to take anything over, obviously, here, but I know
How
you
dare
know
you.
Pig Destroyer is playing live right now. If you want to clip them on
Dude, you wanna-
before they end to be part of your 4-year, I mean, they're playing right now.
I
They're
wouldn't
probably
mind
just about
watching
done.
a little bit of Pig Destroyer
Yeah.
live right now, dude.
Is it on Sick Drummer?
It's on our YouTube live, and it's almost done. So if you wanna
Adam
clip-
Jarvis. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll check it out.
Yep,
Adam Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Okay. All right. Shit, I just went full screen. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, dude. I don't mind a few minutes of that.
Yeah,
no
they
doubt.
may be on their last song. That's why I didn't interrupt it.
Let's
Just
see.
we'll see how
Rest
it
in
sounds.
peace, Blake.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where are they at tonight?
Reggie's in Chicago.
Hey, gents, I got to bounce because the Flyers are just scored within 1 goal of this game.
Dude, Vaughn, love you so
I love
much,
Vaughn.
dude.
My hockey.
Vaughn, we love
Okay.
you.
Later, Vaughn.
Like, I just wanted to pop on quick. Got to catch the last 5 minutes.
Dude,
Pig Destroyer
Love you,
rolls
buddy.
in.
Thank you
Love
very
you
much
guys.
showing up, dude.
Yo, dude, Cali Death
Hell
Podcast,
yeah, bro.
best metal bad cost ever. I'm gonna go watch hockey. Ian, great to rap with you too. You guys are
Hell
the
yeah,
shit.
brother.
Later, brother.
Have a good night, man. Go Flyers. Go Flyers.
Peace,
Get
Go
it.
Flyers! I live
Yeah.
for this.
Hell yeah, brother.
Capitals.
Hell yeah. Sick. Look at this. Okay.
It's always
but
joy
it's
when that happens. Where's the Pig Destroyer,
I've-
dude? What happened?
That's right here. I didn't mute it for a second. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
You guys see it?
Yeah, it's just a little choppy, but we'll see how it sounds.
But yeah. I mean, my internet's really good, so you guys are stoked.
Reggie says good artichokes. They make them backstage.
I will never hear that sentence again. Yeah, it's choppy. Whatever.
Dude, either
Those two
way,
vocalists?
Oh yeah.
I think artichokes might be the best thing to say with a Boston accent ever. That's fucking amazing.
Oh, Brussels sprouts. I'm sorry, Brussels sprouts. I get them son of a bitches too. They were fucking Brussels. They're even the worst. They're like little fastballs.
Well, this will be available tomorrow on our YouTube anyway. I want to hear him say fucking, how about them apples?
Yeah, I'm like, let me see.
What, you
That's
go to the
720.
fucking orchard or some shit? Fucking picking apples and all that?
I got a number.
Dude, Pig Destroyer is relapse grind from the early mid to late 90s, dude. Something was very special about that type of grind, dude. Pig Destroyer was definitely, and I mean, obviously, JR as a vocalist, I'd look up to him as a grind vocalist. Like
Nice.
that dude, especially when you watch the
Thanks,
video
Joe.
of him breaking a mic and he's still loud enough for the audience to hear. You ever seen that video, dude? Let's, dude, Joel, if you can type in Pig Destroyer broken mic on YouTube
Oh, the
and see if
broken
you
mic
can...
one? Yeah, everyone knows that one where he yells
Oh, okay.
over the
Well, I
right?
don't know. You're...
Josh,
would-
you know the one that
What
where
up?
he like where the mic breaks for Pig Destroyer and he yells and you can hear his voice. Over
I think so. I don't know.
All right. It sounds like he can't remember.
Josh,
So
he's
let's
like one of the-
refresh his
he's-
memory, dude.
He's one of the biggest metal nerds that I know. No offense. I
Well,
No,
am.
I toured with them. I mean, like, you know, they get some
But-
antics.
They
Travis is
had
the-
some
Travis is
antics
the
that
man.
as a young teenager coming across that, you're like,
We know
I,
it now
I
who's
love
doing
these
this now,
antics, dude.
You know what? Now who's doing this and taking a bunch of credit for it is the singer of Slaughter to Prevail. There, that
that's
Russian
how
guy.
The vocalist, yeah.
Yeah, he does a part and he'll play like huge festivals and he'll stop everything and get quiet and be like, "Rah, rah, rah," and like you can hear it like in a festival setting.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
all right. And he like fights bears and stuff. You're, all right, dude. You get it. All right. But then there's like pictures that came up like of him like back in the day. And he's like this emo kid. He's like very like
Yeah.
has my hair in the picture of the flyer basically. And
Well, he found the carnivore diet and figured out how to do weird noises with his
we
throat,
played this on the podcast.
Is it just me?
heroin?
Is it
Boy, he
just me?
sure
it's,
is terrible.
Does the microphone on the couch not look like a microphone right now?
It looks like a rat with a long ass
Shit.
tail.
Or something that shakes?
This part's the mic guys.
Oh, look at that old Tama kit right there. Huge, fucking
cool shirt.
huge toms.
Scott on who's
Mental.
no mic right now.
These guys are mental. I wore a Pig Destroyer shirt.
Oh yeah, he
Right?
broke the mic.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right.
I've never seen that. Oh, cool. He's angry.
So I wore a Pig Destroyer shirt to the store last year, and there's a couple cops in there, and then one of them looks at me. He's like, "What is that? Pig Destroyer? Is that a band?" I was like, "No, it was my nickname in college."
Well, another response to that would be like, no, actually, it's a band called Pig Destroyer. They used to be called Cop Killer.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was laughing inside. He loved the shirt. He didn't get it because whatever reason, but he loved it.
Dude, that band is just as important as any other important band that people cite on this show for me, dude. It was my complete Nate and Casey are like, fuck this, dude. Let's go have some drinks and smoke a joint.
They're like, dude,
or
let's hang out
whatever."
together and like let's hang out and do a podcast. They're like, we can just go chill though if we want. Let's go
They're showering. They'll be right back. They're showering.
showering.
But
and
Prowler in the
Candace-
Yard came to me at a time in my life that I was totally ready for it. I was intrigued by it, and I was of age to where it'll stay with me for life, dude. That art, that album art, you never came across a dude sawing himself apart with a crazy grin. Yeah, you came across people getting hacked up on cannibal albums, but a dude sawing himself up and looking at you with a weird, crazy smile. And
Yeah, that artwork fucked me up. I was like, I remember being right at high school and just being like, Jesus, like what the smile? Yeah, just like you're like, Jesus.
yeah,
calm
dude,
the
he's
fuck down,
sawing
dude.
off his leg. He just finished sawing off his leg, and he just looks at you like, check this
It's funny
out,
how I
dude.
look at it
He's just
differently
like,
now. Like as I look at it now, I'm like, if you want to do that, just go and fucking do it. Don't bother me, dude. Just go like I'm like as I get
Behind
older, I'm just
closed
kind of like
doors.
just do your thing, dude. Whatever you need to do. Like
I can almost smell
handle your
that.
business.
Is it just me?
Yeah,
Or can you
exactly.
smell the couch?
I could
Yeah, the
smell
couch.
the couch. I could smell that picture that we're talking about too.
Oh, you took it off. Never mind. I was setting up a scene.
Nate,
Casey,
what's
you just saw
your
the couch.
what's
What's
your deal
up?
with Pig Destroyer? How was prowling in the yard for you?
Dude,
Casey's
I
the
like
prowler in
thought
the
that was
yard
a
right
wall
now.
behind me, dude.
That is so
I
funny.
did not realize that was a curtain. I thought that was a wall. So
fucking
that was actually
Prowler on the
a
porch,
trip.
dude.
That's so perfect. The prowler in the yard almost got you, dude. As I was talking to you about the prowler in the yard.
I was down with Prowler in the yard for sure, and I saw them at Psycho Las Vegas like 3 years ago. They were right
Oh, I did
before
too.
Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
Nice.
Playing at a swimming pool, and that was
Oh, that's
fucking
right.
awesome. It was such a cool way to see Prowler in the yard play.
You got to
at
kick it in a
Las
pool
Vegas.
while watching Pig Destroyer. That sounds like my
Cannibal.
dream, dude.
Yeah, it was
You know
Dying
me
Fetus,
with board
Pig
shorts and
Destroyer, and
sandals,
Cannibal Corpse.
dude.
What's that?
Dying Fetus and Cannibal Corpse were out there too.
Yeah, Mandalay
it
Bay,
All out
Mandalay
at the
Bay,
pool.
in that back area. There's a backstage that has the kind
Yeah.
of pool area. Yeah, that
Oh
was.
yeah, that was the show Joel was at too, right? You were there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
I
ditched
missed
me,
a lot
dog.
of it. I missed a lot of it. There was this. I was hanging out with like Slipknot and I don't know these like ridiculous
Oh, it's
people.
so cool.
Uh-huh.
dude.
Yeah, I was
No,
just
I know
hanging out
fucking
with
cool, dude.
cooler and popular people. You know, I feel
No,
really
but I
unimportant
like
here.
I was on I was on alcohol and other things and like I couldn't like I was too tired for anything at that point.
He said other
It was
things.
it was a
which means
very
he doesn't like weed, guys. So I don't know.
You know, this type of behavior sent me to a fucking casting couch, dude.
yeah. I know. I actually really feel really bad about that. I remember like you were
Prowler in the
there
taint.
and I like fucking just was like after like 2 days there I was like I'm gonna go over here and just like miss like amazing shit. Like I saw like so many good bands. Like and I went the year after I think it was the year after. And it was amazing. I had a great time, but just it's such a fucking grueling festival. And that one that year was like kind of where it was COVID was kind of like, whoa, do you wear a mask or not? It was like in that weird in between era of like, and it's just like a fucking metal festival with like everyone just like slamming together. And you're like, well, I'm committing to this. Let's just get, let's get at the time. It's like 2021, wasn't it? 2021.
That sounds like
so.
something I can convince the wife
Yeah.
to be like, let's go out to Vegas. You can kick it by the pool the whole time, but Cannibal Corpse.
At the
is
time,
really-
like everyone's kind of like weird about COVID still. And, like no one really knew what it was, or they kind of like were understanding it a little bit, but it was kind of like, all right, let's go to like the most everyone goes here from other countries and just slams together kind of like area. And I was like, fuck it, we're doing it, whatever. And it just kind of got like it was a weird situation with a bunch of people like from all over the country. It's like a NAM, like going to NAM. Like you get sick from NAM if you go to NAM, whether there's a pandemic or not. You just get sick. It's like you get Namthrax. Everyone from all over the country, all over the world, just goes like, let's 100,000 people. Let's just get together. You get the Namthrax. You get sick. Like everyone gets sick. That's not even.
That or go to a water park in Wisconsin. The same thing.
Yeah. But no, it was awesome seeing like Cannibal Corpse in a fucking pool setting. That's like and they'll never do that again. I think Mandalay Bay was not down with that, and that's why the next year they went to Resorts World. And which is awesome too. But there's like 50 different venues you have to like find on a map, and like it's kind of like a treasure hunt. Like, all right, King Diamond's playing at this time. Yeah, it's like and I got to hang out with King Diamond, which was amazing. I never been the biggest King Diamond fan. I've kind of been like a little funny about him for a while, and then I hung out with him for a little while, and he was like a sweetheart. And like, shit, sorry, dude. Like he was, and he killed that guitar player. Their sound, King Diamond, or it was Merciful Fate. Merciful Fate like was amazing. I was like, all right, like I bow down a little bit. I'll step down because they sounded like an Aussie band we should have heard our whole lives, and their guitar tone was probably one of the best I've ever heard live. And everything they did was like fucking. I was sitting there just like, I don't know the song, but I'm fucking so into it. Like, Josh, you can speak on. Do you like
One of the greatest
that King
bands of
Diamond
all
stuff?
time. Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah.
and Merciful Fate shit. Some of the heaviest shit ever, bro. Like,
Yeah,
you
no, I
wouldn't
was blown
have
away.
Metallica if you didn't have Merciful Fate, and
I was blown away. I was
No, that
absolutely
shit
like
can
humbled.
change your life, bro. It can turn you
Yeah,
on to
humbled
the
me.
power and glory of fucking heavy metal. You know,
Totally
I don't
humbled me. I was like, whatever, dude. It's just, my joke. It's funny because I posted a post that was like, I saw a ghost tonight. It was pretty sick, and it was Merciful Fate. And then the next day, I meet King Diamond, and he's like, "What's up, dude? How's it going?" He's like super like awesome and nice to me, and I'm like, "All right, well, I just met this legend. Sorry, it was just a joke." Like, I don't know. But no, they blew me away.
White Danish dude, fucking
Yeah, they blew me away live. Like compared to like the sound quality of I saw Emperor, I saw fucking so many sick bands. Like can't even think off the top of my head right now. But I was like, Merciful Fate just stole the show. I was like, all right, well,
yeah, and the set's
all
wicked
respect.
sick too, dude. Fucking, they got the
Yeah,
whole like
stairs. Yeah,
and
I
it
was
comes
like,
to the
all right.
Sabbath.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
dude,
another
those first
genre,
two feet.
in another
I could
genre,
admit when I'm wrong.
that, Candiria would be responsible for forming some of the sounds of other bands that came later, like Dillinger too.
I love
Dude,
Candiria.
Candiria,
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Surrealistic Madness is an album that will stay close to my heart forever, dude.
Was that
And
one
everything else
Destiny?
after. That's the first one. I mean, that's their first full length. That
Yeah.
and I gotta give a shout out to Leo from Animosity. When we were fucking 17, 18 years old, he's like, check this album out, dude. And it just hit me so deep. So it said
Candiria is like they're underappreciated, and
so
100%.
underappreciated, dude.
And same with King Diamond and stuff. But King Diamond there's still a lot of appreciation for that, his whole Merciful Fate thing and King Diamond shit. That like
But Candiria
has that huge crowds showing up. Candiria like influenced all these bands that have huge crowds now, and kind of like King Diamond can still run on the fact that we're a big band and are a big band.
Well,
King Diamond had the worst stretch in like 2005. Like,
really,
maybe it's unfair for me to actually like assess that correctly, but like that turn of the millennium shit when everybody was going smart and technical and whatnot, and yeah, bro, like fucking that didn't really work out for my whole generation grew up resenting fucking anything from the 80s, even though we grew up watching Guns N' Roses and fucking Crew and obviously Metallica and stuff like that, but like there was just like this inherent resentment towards like the old school. I don't know, maybe it's like a teenage thing or some shit, like
yeah
talking
was it the clothes they wore?
We all dressed like assholes though, bro. Like we were almost like it was like nobody even had like long hair, and even like patches and vests and all this shit now that you see, like that it wasn't like that like 25 years ago, like because none of those like metalcore, I call them metalcore, like but like Shadows Fall or like In Flames, like that whole, it just wasn't like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It was so much hardcore in that shit. Yeah, Jenkos was out there too, bro. Like fucking, it was like coming on like kids with straps hanging off their shit, fucking everywhere. It's just fucking like feathered hair.
You sit down and your wallet is in between,
all chained up
your knee.
Yeah, the shit
behind
losing
your
in
knee because your pocket's so deep.
Yeah, yeah, it's fucking. But that was the whole thing. It was just sort of like it wasn't. It was like resentment towards all that fucking like
Reef
stuff,
still repping the Jenkos, bro. What up, dude? Well, he wasn't repping them at Texas. He was repping shorts and sandals, bro. What up?
The dad car.
Dude, it's
Jenkos. Fuck that. Fucking.
I know, but Jenkos though at the same time, it's kind of like nowadays. It's like with the shorts getting, higher and higher, just be like, fuck it, dude. I'm fucking wearing fucking tube pants again, dude. Just like
I think I've never admitted this on the show, but I did. I was a Jinko wearer. I've said this before. My outfits would come from Mr. Rags pretty much exclusively. And so anything that was sold at that store, that's what I wanted to put my shit together with. And Jinkos, although I totally wanted to rock them and I wore them for as many years as I did, I hated them because I'd bring home mud and wetness at the bottom.
like everything around you.
Right, those fucking things.
I was sweeping. I was sweeping all the nastiness from what I was walking over every single day, and that would always be in the back of my mind. Like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, I Pedigo. I work for the street sweeper over here. Fucking,
my trucker flaps are full of mud, dude, and I need to wash them off.
There's a reason regular jeans are not made that way.
Yeah.
Dude, I got
Billabong is gonna come back, Airwalks are gonna come back, like all that shit.
Everything does a cycle and it loops back, and it sweeps through culture to make sure we didn't lose anything, and anything that people think's cool. It's like
people are unironically enjoying new metal now. Like it's everything we fucking avoided doing 20 years ago. And
I think it's a 30-year cycle that we go through roughly, dude. I
think we're in an accelerated universe, Anthony. I think we're a little bit.
It's getting smaller, but if you think about it, in the 80s there was a 50s renaissance, and now here we are in the 2020s, and we're having a 90s renaissance.
But you got like the 2000. Nobody wanted to dress like fucking the 80s and stuff like that. It took like 30, maybe more like 30, because I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. In the 80s, that people wanted to just like the 50s. They went back to the 50s style. The greaser thing happened again, and
Catholic fucking homestead style fucking
yeah. And now here we're in the 2020s, and the 90s is starting to be popular again.
Totally.
The 90s bands. I mean, there's 90s bands that are being sold in the most biggest department stores, Target, Walmart, whatever. You're gonna find a Nirvana shirt or whatever. It's just gonna be on. It's super available now because it is this renaissance. It's not a phase, dude.
Acid Bath just announced they're going to be playing Sick New World next year,
dude. That was exciting.
So, dude, drummer of Narcotic Wasteland was Joseph Howard. He posted that same thing too, and I was like, that's one band. Actually, Josh is the perfect person to have here to ask about that. But I was like, I honestly have never listened to Acid Bath,
dude.
And I was like, but I told him, I was like, so I'm that guy. What album to listen to? He
When the
messaged
Kite
me.
String Pops. When the Kite String Pops all day.
Let's see what he sent me like a rule of order to listen to it. He said, shit. He said, start with Finger Paintings of the Insane and let the album play from there. Oh, and make sure you listen to it loudly. Very important.
That's misinformation.
What would you say, Josh?
I mean,
are you
the
a
Kite
Acid
String
Bath fan?
Pops is the.
I'm like a fucking Scream of the Butterfly type of guy.
Yeah,
that's about it. Like straight up. Like I never really I don't know. I kind of like get sour, like hearing kids saying they're making fucking like black and melodic death sludge or some like black and sludge. I don't know, whatever. To me, it's sort of like, you kind of need a permit to make sludge. You got to be strictly New Orleans. Like some kid wants to make go-go music living in fucking like Dakota. It's like, bro, I don't know if that works that way. Like they can't just export that. You know what I'm saying? But like, I like Crowbar. I like Crowbar, and I kind of like do still get down, and like
the first
even
one,
like Soylent Green. I kind of like. It's not like I'm down on them. I'm just like
I'm super down with Soylent, bro.
Yeah,
was that so?
You like that more than fucking Acid Bath? You think?
Okay. And I know I don't want to be blasphemous. I'm saying I'd much rather listen to Soylent. than any band that
more
we just
enjoyable,
mentioned.
dude. You gotta crawl into that man's fucking sorrows. Like, I don't have it in me to crawl inside a mind of like drug addiction. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about talking about that lyrical
But you'll
shit.
climb
like, you
into
know,
the
I'll
mind of
fuck
like
with someone
serial
else and-
killing and gore
I mean,
and
I mean, I listen to a lot of heavy metal, you know, but like, you know, like, but like, I mean, it's, I mean, how many times can you listen to Nutshell on repeat, you know, by Alice in Chains? It's sort of like one of them things.
Like
It's like,
7.
yeah, I just don't like,
no, I'll hit it like
Yeah.
once a year.
You know?
I'll hit it once a year now because I'm coming up on
Yeah.
40.
No, Alice in Chains
I'm
is a
still
great band to
39
take
right now.
take a big break from. Take like a 5-year break and just throw it back on. It's like, oh fuck yeah, dude, Alice in Chains, dude. And then you get like back into the whole thing again. Nate, speak.
Unplugged.
Nate,
Those MTV unplugged shits are.
Dude, Alice in
important.
Chains is the sickest shit
great
ever.
unplugged
What?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, we got West Coast-
I
With
never-
a certain attitude
Well-
about that one. Like, bro, I'm just not a junkie. Like, I can't deal with this. Like,
I know,
fuck,
and you
like,
don't have to be a
I'm not,
junkie.
like,
but you, have,
you
but
know.
you can understand the pain of like you can like I hated Linkin Park my whole life, and then he passed away, and I was like, oh shit, that shit was real. Like his songs actually like were actually meant something, and I was like, all right, well now I'm into Linkin Park because that was like a
Well,
he
you
wasn't.
could say
I thought
that
he was
about
whining.
Soundgarden and shit.
I thought he
too.
was. Oh no, sound.
You
That's
know,
a, dude.
he tried so hard, he got so far. In the end,
Chris
it
Cornell-
doesn't matter.
Chris Cornell had like
Doesn't
an
even
actual
matter,
like
dude.
once in a lifetime kind of voice. You can't say that like that Linkin Park guy did. Like Chris Cornell, like people can't imitate. There's like Chris Stapleton that sounds kind of like him. That's the only singer I've ever heard that sounds kind of similar to Chris Cornell. He's not repeat. You can't like cover him. Like it's for like and also Lane Staley. I mean,
Dude, Richie Kotzen is like a duplicate of Chris Cornell. If you haven't heard Richie Kotzen, and sorry to speak to Josh's point, he wasn't bagging on Alice in Chains at all. He was talking about the repetition of something.
Josh. I'm just kidding.
It was the repetition, and I can't do that either. I can't sit and listen to somebody, whatever the content of the lyrics may be, over and over and over and over and over. It's just you know, my brain doesn't work that way. So
That's why you just sit back and play the fucking drums. And then I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, but it's
I hella can listen to Alice in Chains over and over again. That's the thing. Like I'm all about like reveling in the misery of some stuff sometimes, but I don't know if it always makes me feel miserable just because the artist was miserable at the same time.
this
I
is
don't
for
always
Joel.
take that on, I guess. You know, I can surface level
100%.
listen to a lot of stuff, but
No,
Dirt
100%.
is a dope ass album, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little weird when fucking you kind of assimilate it with like people dying in your life and shit from heroin. So like, you know, it just takes me
yeah,
back to
for
a place
sure.
where I'm like,
It's like however you internalize it, right?
you know.
Yeah.
No,
That's
but I
like-
mean, bro, the other side of it too, bro. You hear that shit on the fucking radio all the time. So it's like, yeah, like
True.
you know,
I don't
like
listen
any
to
of
the
that
radio
stuff.
For
Like,
sure.
but nowadays,
You know,
like,
my
I go to,
wife-
like, I got a grow shop over here, and every time I walk in there, it's like I'm in 1995 because there's some dude who's like around our age who's just playing the shit that was on the radio in the afternoon, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
It's like
You know.
Sublime. When you grab a hold
Sublime,
of
yeah,
me.
yeah. STP, fucking live. It's like, you
Oh,
know,
Live.
like,
Bad Fish or fucking
Yeah.
Santa
and I'm
Rita.
not down with the critical reassessment of Creed or whatever. Like these kids, you know, I'm the whole get off my lawn.
But that's
shit,
what
you
happens
know,
when
like-
you give the responsibility of what's going to be fed to your ears to somebody else, dude. Terrestrial radio, big grocery stores, whatever. Yeah, obviously you can put your headphones in and still give your own grocery soundtrack, you know.
Yeah.
Grocery
But-
shopping soundtrack, or it's sitting in the car. It's either silence or the jazz station. That's the
Dude,
one thing that I still will go to on terrestrial radio is the local jazz station or classical. I don't listen to pop music, dude. I listen to it enough with my wife and kids, dude. I don't need to.
You listen to it then.
You know?
What you're saying is you listen to it a lot. You don't want to
I'm
listen to it on
forced
your own.
to. I'm forced to.
I want to say too what Josh was talking about a minute ago, or should I say Josh? I don't know. I'm not sure what's correct.
Josh.
Josh.
Go to the
Josh.
Stop and Shop. Stop and Shop.
Fucking,
Get some fucking.
Hey, we was talking about you can't have a bunch of kids coming from this area playing like New Orleans grunge or whatever, Seattle or whatever the sound may be from wherever people are. But
Mhm.
there's a group of kids, they're 22-ish now, but they wrote their first full-length EP at 17, and they're called Barn, and they live in Boise, Idaho. and
Man.
they write songs. They're all
Man.
original in the vein of Old Death and Cynic, and they are absolutely fucking incredible. So if you
I've
remember,
tuned in because
check
of
'em out.
you, Ian. Specifically, you
They're
posted them.
so
Yeah, I
good.
gotta go
They're
see
very
Band
sick,
tonight.
dude.
My wife's like,
Go
what?
see
You going to
Band.
Band? I'm like,
Gotta go
yeah,
see
going down to
Band, dude.
Band. I'm like, oh yeah. Which band are you going to? The
Yeah.
They're
Band.
unbelievable.
You gotta meet me at this
Boys,
band.
the
Silly
fuck? I
name.
told you this.
Silly name, but anyway,
No,
insane.
it's
There was a
silly
band
when
called
when
Band
Josh.
ran it too, right?
It's silly.
Fucking,
It's silly when Josh says it, dude.
No, as kids growing up in Santa Cruz in like a West Coast
you hear
area.
the new band?
Barn mean like a shitty surfer. Remember? He's like, you fucking barn. They used to call people
Chris?
barns.
Really?
As growing up, they'd be
Chris?
like, fucking barn. Yeah, I don't know. No, he's East Coast. He doesn't know what's
I
going on with
used to
that.
think
Brian,
this.
though?
I just
Fucking barnacle.
okay. I'm totally taking it down this path of weird band names that are brilliant bands. And
Necrophagist.
no, I mentioned it in the Cali Death chat today. Scrambled Defunks. I forgot about them, and they totally just popped back into my mind. Scrambled Defunks, and I always would just attribute it to breakfast, but listening to him again today, and actually, Cameron mentioning Prometheus by Emperor, it's the same like modern classical take on technical extreme metal, dude. Scrambled Defunks, whatever the album's called, they only did one album, but man, that
Grind or something.
I'm more
What's
of an
up?
over medium. Oh,
They
they're
did
just,
more than one album too. They I think they have 2 albums at least. The second album has way more sound effects on it.
Where they
yeah, a lot more keys and other. The album from 2009 is what I'm talking about. Let me.
Dude, you
What
brought up
band?
Sublime. Sublime is that band for me that makes me want to just rip my fucking ears out for sure. I cannot. Jesus.
That's the
That
most
band
like
is fucking
played Santa Cruz
rough.
band of all time. It's
I'm
insane.
I
I'm
know it's
I'm
so
sorry.
bad, dude.
It got burned into me by being a beach kid my whole
Oh, yeah,
life.
I know.
You're Santa
I
Cruz light, dude.
know.
You guys don't
That's why
practice
the
the whole-
sandals.
Yeah.
That's why I still back the flip flops. That's why I still back the shorts. It's all burned into me from before all this music shit that we do this podcast about. It was all, and it's just in my DNA. So I'm just gonna have to rock the sandals and still love the reggae and still love the white boy reggae that came after that. It's all just in my DNA. I'm sorry.
Reggae, dude. I love that song.
I was about to say
No,
reggae is just terrible.
I
can't deal with
cannot
reggae.
argue that. That's the perfect argument, and I cannot argue against that
Reggae,
because
I love
it
that
totally
song.
is. Like, it's the same exact song every time.
STP
But-
is that band for me.
But as a poet, then you start to have to pay attention to the lyrics, and that's where it starts to flourish. Okay,
Is that true?
and for me,
All this Stone Temple Pilots
That's
shit
fair.
talking needs to stop, dude.
Stone Temple
They're
Pilots
fucking-
is fucking infuriating, bro. I agree with you.
that's my
Okay,
you know,
because they down tuned
never liked
before
them
every
either.
other, and they were like one of the heavier bands in the early '90s.
I don't
before
know,
other
it's
bands
just-
were like,
it's just one of my everybody's got their band they don't like that got popular, and that's mine. I can't
I
stand
mean,
it.
Josh loves Creed. I like Stone Temple Pilots. That's where we differ, and because it's the East Coast, West Coast thing. I'm just kidding.
I'm sure I like a couple bands you hate, so it doesn't really matter, you know.
No, I mean, to me, the grunge bands. I mean, Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots. This is my order: Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots. If I had those are my top three.
I
of
couldn't even put them in
grunge.
the same sentence, bro. I'm sorry. If you want to keep it to East Coast, West Coast, you could talk about Soundgarden,
Or not.
Stone Temple Pilots, Lemonheads, shit like that, Evan Dondo, but not STP for me.
I mean, I know fucking Scott Weiland. He's from
Weiland.
Santa Cruz, I think. Too. He's a piece of shit, by the way. A terrible person. Was terrible to his family. It's all documented. When he died, it was all documented. It was all very
All right.
documented that he was a bad father. And I was like, damn it! But I still
You got
like
the
those
shovel that
songs.
buried him too. Fucking-
oh,
I
dude.
still like those songs though. I was like, but I still like those songs. Dude, Core by Stone Temple Pilots from that came out. That was like one of the heaviest, like guitar driven Like
That's
heavy.
the classic separate the art from the artist situation, dude. Things get
Yeah.
weird.
Like I hate Scott Weiland as a person.
And I
Like,
don't
God
I
damn.
don't I'm at an age where if you got connected with the art first,
Yeah.
what just happened?
He has to. He wanted the mic in case he's like, "Nah, dude, I can't."
Would you
do
guys
it."
queef?
And then Nate started
JD
laughing.
Vance there about the pounce.
If you
on that
get
fucking cover
exposed to
right
the
here.
art first and then learn about the artist, if you make a solid connection with a piece of art, whether anything, I'm not talking about music. I'm talking about a painting, a film, or whatever. And you
Poop.
make your initial connection with it, being oblivious to all the nerdy details about it, and then you find out later that somebody affiliated with it doesn't align with your efficacies or whatever. It's a
Your
hard thing
ethnicities,
to
ethnicities,
dude. No, I got it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Did
trying
it still make sense, or did I just
It
fucking?
did. No, it's
Okay.
funny.
All right.
I've never
yeah,
ordered.
some-
I've never ever had a fucking ham and mustard cheese. Like I've never been feeling it. It's purely out of spite.
I love how
of Scott
Yeah.
Weiland. Like
East
it's just
Coast
like
folks
I'm like,
are
yeah,
in-
dude, like
Claws are dug in, dude. You cannot fuck with East Coast folks. They're like, this is what's good. This is what fucking sucks. And go fuck your mother. Right? That's pretty much that's East Coast. That's kind of I feel like it's but there's good arguments in there though. I'm just saying. But it's
Like-
kind of like all or
when
nothing.
Basile-
I feel
When
when you
Basile
deal
was
with,
on your
like-
podcast, that was hilarious.
when you deal with like because me and Kevin from Alluvial, we get in these fights all the time, and it's funny as fuck. They're just like East Coast versus West Coast, blah blah, like trying to like hardcore versus like death metal and stuff. Like we get in these fights, and I love the dynamic of East Coast and West Coast, and because they have totally different roots and where they came up, and it's kind of like people sticking to their fucking guns there, and I love it. I'm just saying.
I had to
Josh,
show
you go.
up. I couldn't just let you guys jerk each other off. While JD Vance was there watching that couch. Fucking
Actually, I think Joel was. I didn't feel like I was jerking him off at all, dude. I felt like I wanted to. No, I'm just
How
joking.
about those Celtics? We didn't catch up on that. How sick was that?
Yeah, Anthony was
Championship. That was awesome.
After
Anthony was
what?
Way more enjoyable than the Chiefs. I don't know that much.
Oh no, I'm going. I mean, we're going for a three-peat. I don't know. Last time Celtics that was like when your dad was like 3.
Two guys, one couch.
Chiefs and 2 fans.
Whatever, dude.
arrow.
We're the new Patriots, dude. Accept it. We're the new Patriots.
How often y'all excited to wake up at 6 in the morning your time and not watch the Patriots play? You'd be better
that
off
is
watching
one
Premier
shitty
League.
thing about
I'm
being.
going,
on
I'm going to the
West
game. I'm going to the Niners game this weekend. I went to the.
Oh, really?
I went to the SoFi game 3 or 4 weeks ago. That's
Who
a
this playing?
fucking-
I got Purdy on my lineup, bro. I
that's-
had Moody. I had to drop Moody because he all fucked up.
Dude,
Yeah, exactly.
sports are so sick, dude.
So yeah,
Sports
so he
football.
gets to talk about hip hop. We can talk about sports for a second. So
I didn't say anything about hip hop, dude. I mentioned hip hop once, like an hour ago.
Sports once, an hour in front of you. But so
And yes, you are in front of me.
I have a
I'm
New
behind
England
you.
person in my face that's a New England Patriots fan. That it's like that's like getting like a person that's like Wu-Tang not forever versus a Wu-Tang forever person. You have to confront them. I'm just giving it in your
Is it?
context. You have to,
Anthony,
like,
let me explain it to you.
Actually, it's
Let me
like
explain it to you.
no, it's like
Let me
doing
tell
a
you where
hip
I'm
hop
at.
podcast. It's like doing a hip hop podcast, and then somebody comes up and says, "Hey, dude, what's up with fucking Domino's, dude?" Like,
No, it's not like that. Josh,
I don't
go.
know. I mean, so I would put it to you this way, Anthony. You know that part in the stand where like the fucking scurrying around the field, and they go to the stand, and the old lady's there playing the guitar, and she's like, "I haven't heard a decent F chord in 500." That's how I feel seeing my quarterback throw a ball last week. Okay,
No,
dude,
dude, you don't-
fucking, like,
I was a-
that's-
I was
I
a
haven't seen
sport-
that since number 12 was there. All right,
I
so, like,
understand.
we're all
I
very
understand
optimistic,
professional sports, dude. I understand this. You could totally find a metaphor of music and your team, whatever. You know, I was just giving Joel his little side job because
I just think no, I'll bring it back home. We'll bring it, but the
Yeah,
I think that
yeah.
the best bands kind of had this nice team atmosphere, this nice team, like the best tours
Right.
all have these
Yeah.
fucking team fucking, and the most memorable tour, like I remember being out there with fucking like we toured with like Power Trip. We talked about like fucking fantasy football,
All right, P.
Texas
Riley.
football, like way more. Like Riley was a fantastic fan, like fucking of like all that shit. Like he was well educated. All those guys knew their ball, and they were like some of the best, most sincere conversations that I've ever shared. Even on that tour, we were in Napalm Death. Fucking Bonnie would talk about like being an Aston Villa fan, and like he tells a story to me about like being an Aston Villa fan to the point where he somehow like ends up in the same box at the stadium. Like he's a butler. I mean, dude, sports can take you places that is fucking really remarkable. And like fucking,
Totally.
I think you learn a lot about people's culture and their identity and their socio-political shit by virtue of
100%.
fucking how like fucking these people assemble in
100%.
mass groups and all that.
100% with like
you can
politics
dip into
nowadays,
that as a
sports-
touring musician though too.
Well, no, sports.
Oh,
You see like
absolutely.
a lot of you see a lot of like with politics and stuff. You see a lot of the
Oh, yeah.
team stuff. You see like, oh, dude, you're just a Raiders fan, dude. You
Yo, you
see
wanna
like
hear,
the way
like-
that they stick to things.
You want to hear
and
like the real American like essence? Listen to fucking American sports radio. You want to understand a local accent? Listen to fucking any American fucking sports radio station, and you're gonna hear the heartbeat of the fucking community there, fucking telling you what's going
It
on.
is. It's actually very true what you're saying.
know?
I listen to sports radio so much, and I'm not a sports fan, but I work on people's vehicles, and the
Oh, yeah.
majority of what's on a radio when I get into their car, it's
Mhm.
sports radio. More so than music. I get into cars and I see sports radio, and I hear people talking about Bay Area sports and shit, and I totally get what you're saying. It's
What's the passion?
you get it. You get a
Yeah.
No, that's what it is, dude. I
passion
I
in
mentioned
politics, you hear people
Bubbles,
speak.
but I
But
mentioned
you see
Bubbles
sports,
with the
it's same
music
thing.
and shit.
Sports and politics, same thing. Like you hear sport,
Or
people
what
like,
we're
kinda like,
talking about music
like
though, dude.
like you see like people in other like countries, like for soccer, they'll like line the
Yeah.
100,000
Yes.
people with fucking flags for a fucking game, and then you'll see people like a protest or something. It's like the same kind of mentality. Like you see
It keeps
that.
me in touch with a lot of dudes and bands. Like for real, like I hit up Joel Const, like you were at the 50-yard line on that fucking Alabama Georgia game, which was fucking phenomenal. Like an
I
incredible.
wasn't, by the
event.
way. I wasn't, by the way. I was at Cosm in Los Angeles, which is a
Okay.
dome.
Oh,
It's one of those
that
domes.
you saw that.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that's like the
Yeah,
cutting
yeah.
edge theater shit. I have
No,
to
I know,
fucking
I know.
see one day.
It looked like I was there, though.
Okay.
You thought I was there, though. I posted like I was there.
Yes. No, I was absolutely fooled by that. I mean, dude, so even Vaughn was here earlier. Like Paul, I don't know if you know Paul McGuire. Like I got into
yeah.
like Celtic fucking like the Scottish, like I'm all in on them. Like, I don't miss
Dude, do not say Celtic.
What's the matter? What are you, a fucking Rangers fan?
Yeah, I'm a fucking Rangers fan all day.
Oh,
My
fucking
uncle played for the Rangers,
Ends
man.
up
No
here.
joke.
Oh, dude, once a family member's
Cheers
on the
to you.
team,
Yeah.
dude.
Cheers
I
to
know,
Ian.
Josh.
Cheers to Ian. There you go. No hard
Yeah,
feelings.
No,
gotta
I
cheer.
swear. I had
Where are
one
you from?
uncle.
Ian, where are you? You said Wisconsin?
No, I'm in Rochester.
Rochester, New York.
Rochester.
Yeah, New
House
York.
of Guitars.
Yeah, great house
That,
guitar.
is that considered upstate New York? Is that
No,
what you would-
no. Upstate New York's
No?
like Poughkeepsie and shit. I'm Western New York.
Okay.
West
Western.
New York.
But yeah, I had an uncle
West
that played
New
for the
York.
Rangers. I had a cousin and a stepbrother that played for the junior Rangers, and my
Oh, shit.
another uncle played for Scotland National.
Damn.
Okay.
Dude, we
You're
gotta
fucking legit. All right. See, I don't fucking always meet. I seen a Rangers fan on the street the other day, and I was like so stunned.
Did you kick him?
No, no, it's the Queens Rangers. See, the problem I have with the Rangers, and I know you got your thing, but they're a loyalist. I believe in Scottish independence, and I believe in the charity of the Celtic Football Club and everything that they've existed for, the glory and the greatness of the Celtic people of Ireland and Scotland. So here we are. Fucking this is the thing. I sit around fucking reading about fucking North versus South Irish fucking war shit. So fucking
Oh, dude, the green and the that's
this shit. Yeah,
the green and the orange. That's where I come from. Can you see that on my arm here?
Oh yeah, I see that.
13.
We'll start
14.
talking so fast. These guys won't understand anything we're saying. They got these subtitles.
That's the Battle of Bannockburn right there, my friend.
Oh shit, man knows his shit. Part of the
Oh
cause.
yeah, dude.
The whole
And
sleeve
Yeah,
is about the
cilantro.
war.
Cilantro. Did you
We
guys
gotta-
listen to Billy Madison as a kid? Fucking.
Oh fuck yeah!
We got to give it up to Rochester for giving us lethargy and what
Mastodon.
other tell
Oh,
us about
Mastodon-
any other sick bands that were at it in that scene, because I know it was a scene. Ian.
Sulaco, yeah. Now Sulaco is Eric's newer
Yeah,
band.
dude, totally.
You got.
I was
mean,
repping that at Texas, by the way. At Texas Domination, I was wearing my Sulaco shirt.
You crushed that, by the way. And then there was like Jersey had like Human Remains with Dave Whitty back in the day, and like Lethargy and Human Remains played together all the time.
Yeah.
You know, Carl Ross, before he was in, you know, Hate Plow or Suffocation or Malevolent, he was in a band in Rochester called Disgorged, not to be confused with Ricky Myers' Disgorged.
Right.
But they were sick too. You know, they didn't get as big. And then of course you got Braun and Bill from, you know, Lethargy. They went on to be in Today's the Day and then Mastodon, and they've done it all.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
opening up
That's-
for like
that's
fucking
the-
Judas Priest in the Coliseum or whatever. Like,
And
what-
lethargy, dude. I mean, that is such a rich, like, bubble of music. You know, if you think of that band, if you go and take in all their demos and full length albums and EPs as one thing, it's such a positive timeline as a band, dude. You just completely watch it and go into Sulaco right after.
Yep.
It is a really good progression, and Eric has always been such an underrated
yeah.
guitar player in my mind. I don't know why that people don't mention him.
I don't know either. I mean, because he's also played with Brutal Truth and Nuclear Assault for fucking 15 years, and he's filled in with, you know, Napalm Death. I mean, he's done it all. And Eric single-handedly, not to discount anybody else he's jammed with, but he created a whole sound that's still relevant. You know what I mean?
I totally back that, dude, and it's totally unique. It's not duplicated in any way. There not only was a scene that was happening there, but there was this new thing that was bubbling up, and it was an untold influence on a lot of other things that came past it. That it's that James Brown drummer situation where it's overly sampled in hip hop, and he never gets credit for that funky drummer beat that he had, and the dum dum da 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 dum da dum. That's the same exact thing that a person in like contributes an influence on other things that become bigger, but the first person that did it doesn't. It's like, who's that guy?
Yeah.
You know.
And if anybody doesn't know Lethargy, I would ask you to go back and look up on YouTube their first demo called Lost in This Existence.
Yes.
It's incredible. And Braun Daler was 16 years old when he did it. It's just mind blowing. And there's a comment in the chat about Dan is awesome. I don't know who they're talking about, Dan per se, but Dan Luca would be another one from Rochester, legendary bass player, you know, Anthrax beginnings and SOD and Brutal Truth. You know,
Those early demos were I thought more influenced by like Gorgas and stuff like that. More death
Yeah.
metal
yeah,
influenced on those early Lethargy demos, and then
you nailed it because
Um,
Eric is a huge fan of Luke LeMay. That's no
it really
secret.
was. I mean, the vocals were very influenced by it, and even the music too. And but something happened, and it's hard to write with small hands. That
Yeah, that album cover is great.
it,
No, it's
it was
not.
one.
It's
and
not.
it's actually it's a giggle fest, but at the same time,
It was
hopefully not real.
pre PC days, right?
Yes, it was. But it was one, I've mentioned it on the show before. It was one of those jackpot moments that I had at a record store when you're flipping through every single CD and every single cassette tape and all these things, and you find that one gem that's there for $4. I think it was $4. And now you look on eBay, it's 150 for the same thing that I got in my CD case right now. And it's wild to just have that moment for yourself to be like, yes, dude, I came here with a list of gems that I might possibly find, and I found it, and nobody else knows what kind of gem this is to me, because even the place that I'm buying it for is selling it to me for $4. It's worth way more than that. It's worth so much more than $4 in my mind. It's Indiana Jones getting his treasure, you know? That's literally what I feel in those moments of, yes, this band from Rochester, New York, their original copy of what it may have been, 500 to 1,000 maybe. And I, in my position on this planet, found it physically, and I get to take it home with me, dude,
and smell it
and spin it, dude. That's exactly what I still want to. I want to experience that again. I haven't found it again in recent years, dude. In recent years, it's harder to find a place like that. I got to go to Amoeba. Maybe Amoeba still holds some of that energy. I hope.
No,
Yeah, we got
record
we got
shopping
a-
sucks right now. It's not nearly as cool as it was like fucking even like pre-COVID, I feel like. Just
Yeah.
everything's shopped out. Everything's stupid fucking pricey. Like the used market's not the same.
No, it's
Like,
ridiculous.
it's just not really.
We're lucky to still have a great shop in Rochester called the Record Archive, where actually the bass player, R.I.P., died about a year ago. He worked there for his entire life after high school. And Dan Loker actually works there too. And it's a huge warehouse.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They have a bar area and bands play there. And it's pretty wild.
Sick.
Does House of Guitars still have like the record shop like thing in there? Like
Yeah,
they have
it
like
hasn't-
awesome guitars and like
It
there's,
hasn't
like, all-
changed. It hasn't changed a bit since last time you were there. I can guarantee that. But
I bought like dead stock like fucking Voivod tapes I couldn't find anywhere. Like
Yeah.
I still
they're good
have.
people, man. They're really good people. I used to run drum clinics in and out of there
Really?
years back. We brought Ray Lazier in and Tim Young in and did these clinics there. And
Wow.
there's a recording studio in the downstairs of that place that not many people know about. If you're ever back there for whatever reason, ask them if you can see it. It is fucking crazy cool. And
But it's just like kinda-
doesn't get used. It's just sitting there doing nothing.
It's like surreal when you go there. Like I don't know if these guys, but if anybody's been there, and I don't know if it still looks like this, but I remember there was just like this wall of photos of like everybody who like played Rochester. God knows, as long as it was open, like went there for signings, which
Yeah.
is kind of like a lost thing. Like signings now, like they've kind of come back in a different way. It's like a backstage thing, I guess, and maybe
No,
Fest
dude, it hasn't changed. Like I'm not joking when I say it hasn't changed a bit. And you walk in the front, there's the whole rows of guitars. You walk towards the back, there's the sound stage, and you go through another hallway. Then downstairs, and there's those white walls that you're talking about, where everybody signs and all the photos of everyone that comes through there. Actually, Brandon from Black Dahlia Murder just did a clinic there last Saturday.
Nice.
shit. Is the Bug Jazz still open?
It sure is.
It's a cool little fucking dive.
See, that's what it's all about, dude, is having those places that withstand time, even pandemics and shit. They're still there, and it's just becomes a little beacon for the underground to possibly have a spot to hit. And dude, record stores too. It's just they are out there, but they are owned by people who talk just like us. They're the ones that are trying their hardest to keep an accessible place where people can go flip through physical media, and it's being fewer and far between now. And
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, man. And they're sacrificing for their passion now. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
It's great.
dude. And it's great for us, but I mean, yeah, eventually it shows that it's gonna die out and whatever, dude. We'll be the guys in our wheelchairs and our deathbeds being like, do you understand what it's like to read through liner notes on a CD booklet? You know? How cool was CD artwork?
Wicked
It's
cool.
It was, but our grandkids are gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Grandpa? Shut up, you dimension fucking ridden idiot." Maybe not, but you know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna sound like the people like, well, oh yeah, you had this one thing that you did, but now it's easier. Like I don't need to do all that. It's just at my fingertips.
Not as slick. I mean, the convenience of everything, it's just unmatched. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, all the sickest, most obscure demos possible are just right there. It's not even no more fuckery with fucking bandwidth on Napster or some shit like that. It's instantaneous. It's in your pocket. Like what the fuck? Like I don't know. It's pretty. There's never been a better time, in my opinion. But it's also like the worst of times somehow too. Always in some weird way.
It was so cool to find something that your homie pitched to you. You had a goal. You went to this place, and then oh shit, there's Necrophagus, dude. I flipped through the end section of the death metal section because it didn't deserve its own section at the time, but it's in the end section. Oh shit, here it is, dude. Take it home and upgrade your brain.
Josh, I feel like every 25, 30 years, Josh, I think someone can say that and it's still relative where they think it's the best of times and worst of times, but it's just retrospectively, it's a progression. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And even I think scenes come and go. Even a band like Undeath now, they're from Rochester, aren't they?
They are. They are, and they're good.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Just seeing them fucking evolve, from a couple like little demos and shit. And now they're out there doing the damn thing. They're, they just did a whole Asian thing, and let alone it's like people are going to Asia now. Like the fuck, like it, it can be the worst at times, depending if you're fucking, kind of bitter and jaded and fucking disenchanted and somewhat disassociated from the scene. But it's all about fucking being busy and staying in the game and fucking, delivering the goods.
Right.
We also give one more shout out to a band called The Funeral Portrait. They're out there now. They're playing with huge shows, and they're going to be on Sick New World again. And they're young kids, but they're from Rochester, and I grew up with one of the guys' dads, Donnie Weisinger, who was in a bunch of bands around here, and everybody knows him. And now his son is up playing guitar in The Funeral Portrait, and they're selling out arenas, man. It's awesome. He's like fucking 21.
Holy
That's
shit.
rad, dude. And it's cool to have this more unknown place just churning out awesome artists, and that's kind of why we started calling this thing Cali Death Podcast, dude, because we are proud of everybody who popped out of this state, and same thing with you, Josh. You have your own little like collective that was built up. I think that it's great to find community, dude, and have like-minded people that will influence you to continue on the path that you already were on before you met them. You need those baton passes along the way, along your journey to tell you, oh yeah, you're still going in the right direction,
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Keep the flame going, bro.
Where are you at, Josh?
I'm in fucking outside Worcester, fucking like kind of that, like Midwestern Mass, Central Mass.
How far is it? How far is it from the ferry boat to Martha's Vineyard?
To the Vineyard, like at 90 minutes or whatever. Yeah. Like, yeah, fucking like.
Why is it called Martha's Vineyard, by the way?
Martha's Vineyard?
Martha Washington.
But yeah, fucking goes back to that shit. And all
it goes back to Martha Washington had a house out there when way back.
It's like half the shit is like native, and then the other is like geological, like east, west, north, south, all that stuff, like some sort of directional thing. And then there's usually like somebody's like claiming fucking land. That's how old it was, you know.
I think it was a
Yeah.
gift. I may be out of school, but I think it was a gift from George Washington to his wife.
Yeah, the Quakers were
True.
dug in on Nantucket, and they had the whaling industry down there and shit, and fucking, you know, they were there like kind of like around shortly after Pilgrims and all that bullshit. Fucking,
Right.
Trip.
it's a little
Throwing-
country.
No, I'm totally being a dumbass right now because I forgot all that shit. You know,
Or come apple picking. You want to pass each other fucking notes to say I got her number. How do you like them apples? And fucking, you know, make some sauce about it or some shit. Fucking.
make some sauce about it, dude.
You must know Johnny Glassbrenner too.
No, I don't actually. He's on like I think we're friends on Facebook, but I've never actually met him.
No,
Maybe
no
I'm
shit.
wrong. I apologize if we.
Yeah, he's in Albany. You know, he's been in a bunch of bands that you would know and stuff.
All like Maha is in here. Like I'm more of a like I got family from fucking Glens Falls, so like fucking like
Oh, right
I'm
on.
more like a Glens Falls, like Saratoga type of dude. Like the Gore Tour dudes we were talking about earlier. We all used to like ride out to Saratoga winters and like Valentine's and like shit like that. Like, you know,
Sure.
we were really like skinless. Like we were all like wicked fucking skinless fucking nerds back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Well, the same
Yeah.
night I met Mahar, I met Glassbrenner at the same show. Actually, it was
Nice.
and yeah, you're more in Bittner's neighborhood, and Corey Pierce from God Forbid, and all those Burn from Hatebreed all live over in your area. Well, closer to your
Yeah,
area.
yeah. What's weird is like I'm like kind of closer to Albany than like certain parts of New Hampshire, like Manchester, New Hampshire. Excuse me. Like so, like it's weird. Like I'm only like 5 minutes like more from like Albany or some shit. Like so, yeah. But
Mhm.
I don't know. Like Boston's like fucking an hour. You know, like most of the shows go to Worcester. Like Joel's played Worcester.
Boston.
A lot of people kind of go to the Palladium and shit like that. You know.
I just realized Joel was gone.
Yeah, we need to check in with Nate too. By the way, where did Casey go? Did he just
Joel's
say hi,
driving
I'm
over
on
to
the
sit
bed?
on that couch right now. He's in the car. He's gonna go sit on the couch. Fucking.
Yeah, Casey's making food in the kitchen right
Oh,
over
okay.
here this way.
Cooking for
He's
you.
watching the show here. Joel lost power, Casey said.
Oh
So-
man,
That's all good.
That explains
good thing you
Joel's
started the
situation.
stream.
He's out in the boonies now, dude. He's
I don't know if
wow,
you heard
really?
Kate. Did you hear Casey
surrounded by
there?
trees. I
Yeah.
didn't.
No,
Yell it again, Casey.
Keep talking away. That's what we've been doing this whole time, dude. I mean,
What's
he
up?
got it, dude. Casey knows what's up, dude. We got to keep talking, which is what we always been doing this whole time. But all right, let's. I'm gonna lean it onto the couch right now, onto that couch arm that you're leaning onto so comfortably right now.
The casting couch, dude. The couch of shame, he just called it.
So Nate,
you know-
I know
you
you
know,
never
uh,
stop making things, dude. I know you never stop making things, and I know you've been cooking up some ontogeny stuff. So
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
us what's going down in
Casey,
the
can we turn the
ontogeny
volume
camp,
up a little
dude.
bit? Hold on 1 second.
I can hear you fine, dude.
No, it's not my volume. It's your volume because there's all sorts
Oh.
of food sizzling in the next room. So all I hear is sizzling, dude.
It's all good, dude.
Oh no, now we're good. Yeah. So yeah, new ontogeny. We're recording
Yes.
new ontogeny. We got about 5 songs recorded. There's gonna be 9 songs on the album. And you know, Sick Drummer featured Keith once too. So I always appreciated that, Ian, that Keith was on there because you know we're a nothing band. So having Sick Drummer do a thing on Keith, because Keith really is like he's so fun to play with.
Before we move
creative.
on, I just want to say that Keith is one of the most unique and original drummers that I've ever known personally.
For sure.
He will be on this show. The schedule conflict thing is getting in the way, but that's how you do this, breaking the fourth wall. But Keith is a guy that has been on my list as a drummer to come on this show for a long time because I want to showcase how unique and talented
he is, dude. If you watch Keith play in anything that he does, even Bong Father was such a great experience to see Bong Father, dude. But watching him with Ontogeny is where you really understand where that man resides as a drummer. And
He's super creative, and he keeps me creative too. It's super fun. It's exciting all the time. It's different every time I play with him because he's able to think on the spot really well, and he's able to learn really fast, which that makes writing really fun. Because I don't, way earlier in the episode we were talking about people writing with Guitar Pro. I don't write with Guitar Pro. I can't do that. It like takes all the fun out of making music for me once I start making a computer do it, because I just like playing guitar, man. I like playing riffs, and Keith's great for like I'll play a riff and be like, oh, I don't like that, relearn it like this. And my riffs are kind of like rhythmically fucked up, so learning it the first time is hard originally, and then if I'm changing it again, it's like, you fucker, I just learned that first thing and now I got to learn it again, and I'm just I work like that. So working with him is really fun, and this new album is really exciting to work with him and play. We use, it's the acoustic drums with Keith work really well because he's a very like jazzy type drummer. So we're keeping that vibe. We wrote the whole album together in this room, and we're recording it in the same room. And we're gonna have a lot of fun with these new
Shout
songs.
out
I'm
to
excited.
Smoke Lunch. Serving a fire. Yeah, serving a fire riffs, smoking hot riffs.
What was that?
Smoking hot riffs over there.
They're
I'm
always
trying,
smoking
I'm
hot
trying
riffs
to,
with
not all
fucking
the
Nate,
fun is
dude.
on the casting couch over here. Some
Yeah.
of the fun is in
Nah.
the studio too,
No,
But,
Nate's
yeah.
really got some smoking hot riffs, dude. Ontogeny, bro. They're on.
What the
fire
fuck does
the whole time.
ontogeny mean?
Ontogeny, depending on how you want to look at it, could be it's a process from something growing from a simple to a complex level. I like the way it sounded too. That was a fun word just to learn, and it's using psychology or science, or it could be used just to describe growth. And it kind of worked because it's a project that I've been working on since I was 7 years old. So it's the growth of me. I don't tour a lot or do anything like that. So every album that I release is like that's where I was when I was 14. That's where I was when I was 15. That's where I was when I'm 20,
Yeah.
So that's the perfect name for the project for me, for
And
sure.
it's beautiful, dude, because I've watched it since that, even after, obviously, I didn't know when you were 7, but I caught you during that progression that's still happening to this day. Pillars, you handed that to me at the Thunderdome. I remember you being there.
Yeah, that's when I
For-
was like probably 16 or something when I met you, I would say.
Yeah.
But
and
those were songs that I had when I was 14. Like those are the first riffs that I wrote. So there's a song on there that I wrote when I was like 14 for sure. Congregating Coffins is the oldest song that I wrote, and that's on that album. So I always like listening to that because I remember recording it. It's one of those things that I would never want to re-record because like I remember being so proud of that fucking album when I did it,
Right.
So there's no need to redo it for me. It's kind of cool.
It's so cool, dude. And as a fan, I would call myself a super fan, dude. And I've been super excited for every Ontogeny release, and it may be attributed to the connection we made as individuals, but either way, you locked me in, and watching you from Pillars to what it is currently, I'm just so proud of you, dude. I really am.
Dude,
Dude.
thank you, man. It's an honor, and congratulations on 4 years of this. Congratulations on Severed getting back together. That's fucking so tight. It's so amazing, And
no,
I was a fan of all this stuff. It's all fun playing music and meeting cool people playing music. That's what it's about for me. It's
And
good
that's
shit.
why you're here hanging out with us to celebrate the 200 episodes that you just mentioned, because we know that you've been with us since the beginning, and here we are today, still being
Fuck yeah.
nerds about this shit, and still
Yeah.
trying to communicate and contribute. Yes, I'm drunk. Everybody's listening to this like, oh man, this guy's being a fucking drunk. But I'm being truthful. I am being very truthful that having Ian and Josh with us, and we have history so much in what we're putting together right now live for everybody else. This is a span of everything that's happened since I started doing this shit, and here we are having this episode together. Josh, Ian, Nate, all our connections are there, and I think that's super fucking cool, dude. And that's exactly what this show should be. It's
Hell
exactly
yeah.
what the representation of the show should be. The 200 episodes, we have all this history put together in one, just to show like we're still here. I am trying to X shit out.
These
Oh,
guys are gonna eat
Casey's
supper.
coming in with
Look at this fucking
what'd
dad.
you
Yeah.
serve? What's for dinner, dude? What'd
It
you guys do?
looks like a stir fry, like an kung
Jesus.
pao chicken, dude.
It's a date.
No,
You guys
you
are
got
dating.
your
There's no
What's
good
up?
Chinese
Personal Panda
food on the
Express,
West
dude.
Coast. What the hell are you doing? Fucking
What are you
That's your-
talking about, man? You don't think there's good Chinese
East
food on
Coast
the
Chinese.
West?
East Coast Chinese food is way better. You can't.
Why?
I
Because
don't
you got
like-
duck sauce. Go fuck yourself with your fucking East Coast
rules.
Chinese.
Yeah,
We got
I love that
Chinatown in
shit.
San Francisco. That's more Chinese people than China, bro.
that is
Y'all got like
that's
grease
funny.
that's illegal out there. We got that pure shit. Fucking I want that pan.
The East
fried.
Coast always takes the pizza and the Chinese food from us.
I'll
dude.
give the East Coast pizza any day for sure. East Coast pizza for sure. You know,
Fish and
I
chips,
love
come
New
on,
York
you-
City.
your seafood's not
Boston
nearly-
is such a cool city. I love the East Coast too. Philadelphia is an amazing city. New York's an amazing city. Boston, I love the East Coast vibe. It's like a fun
It
food
does.
and like live culture. I love it. I love the shit giving, all that stuff. It's fun. It's fun going to those areas and talking
inventing
shit.
death metal, inventing
It hits,
America.
dude.
This motherfucker's just
Founding
chowing.
fathers of death metal.
Don't talk, Casey's
Inventing
eating.
America. Fuck yeah.
Easy.
Dude.
And
Oh,
Joel's in the dark right now, fucking all furious.
Joel, I don't know what the fuck Joel's doing right now.
Joel's in the
dude.
dark right now and he's starving,
Jesus.
and these fuckers are all in the light and
Joe
eating.
lost power.
How did he
Yeah.
lose power? He lived in the woods, huh? He's got like snow and shit now.
Yeah, that's what's fucked
Yeah.
up. He's did he text us? Dude? He didn't text us about anything, dude.
Kung Pao.
Wow. We're mad at
He's talking
Joel
about
now.
texting me. Not
Oh,
texting
okay.
you.
What are you eating, Casey? What is that? What'd you make?
Yeah.
Talk us through it.
Kung Pao chicken. It's like Trader Joe's, dude.
I just said Kung
Oh,
Pao.
you
I
just
fucking knew
heated
it was
some
Kung
shit
Pao.
up.
We don't get
threw on
those
some
hippie
rice.
restaurants.
Nate's got to drive back. Got to.
Are you driving back to the Bay tonight, dude?
No, he's driving back to.
I almost lost the Kung Pao, dude. That would have been bad. No, I'm driving back to San Diego and then flying home tomorrow.
Oh, okay. You're
I've
in a
been in
rental
San
right
Diego
now.
since Monday.
Damn, dude. It's Thursday.
Kung Pao in it right in front of us.
Yeah, I'm
Fucking
ready
Friday,
to
I
go
know.
home.
Fucking
Are you in a nice hotel?
Yeah, I'm in the Plaza Gas Lamp district of San Diego, and the gas lamp's pretty cool. It's a supposed haunted hotel, I guess. I didn't see anything. If I saw a
Or
ghost,
hear
I'll come
anything?
out of there. No, I had nothing. Just the AC unit's loud as hell. That's all. But no, it's cool. I love like big gritty cities, and San Diego.
Did you book it because it was haunted?
No, I booked it because it's down the street from where I'm working currently.
All
So
right.
it was down there for.
Oh, look at this hotel. It's a beautiful place, honey. Oh, look at the backyard. It's awesome. Get out. Too bad we can't stay.
Yeah, I would listen to that thing if it said "get out" too. It's like, I'm not fighting a specter, man.
This on Texas Domination Fest, Troy he booked all the things, and he put us on the top floor to get rid of the noise, right? And what we didn't realize, it was the residential floor on a Motel 6, dude. So think about being a week by week person on a Motel 6 that owns so many dogs, dude. There were so many barking dogs and finding couples.
That,
and,
dude. Refund.
dude, but Troy booked it all. Love you, Troy. We by the time we told Troy about it, it was already halfway into the trip, because we didn't really care about anything until the couple next door started fighting, dude. Man, that dude was
Oh hell yeah,
crazy,
Nice.
bro. Me and Ivan from Deeds, Carnivorous, Continuum, all the crazy bands. We're just sitting on our beds. It's me and him, and we're just head back trying to, chill after breakfast or whatever. And you just hear this dude yelling at this chick to get out. And she's like, well, I don't have the money for this week. And an argument over, and I'm not being judgmental. I am privileged because I'm a homeowner in California, that you go to this place and you hear this woman be belittled because she doesn't have her half of a Motel 6. You're just like, fuck, dude. I'm supposed to sit here and listen to these people while I,
Yo, did you see that movie, the Florida Project?
Nah.
It's a fucking A24 about people who live in like motels and shit. It's worth your time. You're a film guy. Fucking.
There was one woman on that. She was just like, I'm not a part of any of this. She had fall decorations on the front of her door and shit, and I'm just like,
go to Salem.
Man, here's this one woman who's just trying to like be chill, and everybody else around here is not chill. In a Motel 6. I'm like, fuck, dude.
It's tough to hang.
Yeah, it was tough to hang. I was like, man,
it's misleading. Those fucking commercials make it sound all relaxing. They're gonna leave the light on for you. Yeah, because they're on fucking
leave the light on for you,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah. It's tough to hang. Fuck that shit.
People were moving in and out as we were there, dude. It was wild. I've never, and again, privileged.
Texas sounds like the worst place on earth. It's just an awful place. My God, Texas. Jesus.
I agree with that.
But
I've been there. Come on. I'm just fucking with Texas. You gotta love fucking with Texas every now.
I will say the Old West Cafe.
Yeah,
I already gave them the plug, dude.
What's the fucking go-to hangover meal for Anthony?
For me, yeah, man,
like
dude,
that fucking like start the day off when you go into the what's it called, the Morning Star.
If I'm feeling really bad, I don't eat anything. But if I'm with the homies and we just had a big night, it's a big breakfast, dude. It's an omelet with fucking hash browns, coffee. Definitely hit the eggs and the bacon, that type of stuff, dude. So the omelet will probably be like
rancheros. I've seen Anthony get that.
Yeah, I'll hit the peppers and onions. Got to be in the omelet. Give me that bacon. Give me the hash browns. Hit me with the toast and some coffee, dude. I'll murder that the next day if we're all out partying, right?
How about you guys?
I'll answer that, Josh, man. There's a couple different ways I can go about it. One, if I'm going out to eat, for breakfast or lunch or dinner. One, it could be eggs Benedict with sausage on the side. It could be chicken and waffles. But if I make it myself, going back to the whole, green and the orange and Celtic and Rangers thing.
Yeah.
I order food all the time from Canada, frozen here, so I get the real deal Scottish breakfast sausage.
Damn,
I do the big fry up, they call it. So it's like
Yeah.
it's square sausage, it's pork links, it's fatback bacon, beans, eggs, fried tomatoes, potato scones, and fucking black pudding, which is otherwise known as
Looks
blood,
like we need
blood
to
sausage.
fucking go sleep over at Ian's house, dude.
It is the
God
best thing
damn.
ever for a hangover, especially the black pudding, which is blood sausage. It's one of my favorite foods ever.
Fuck,
Yeah, no,
dude.
that's just not sold in America. I mean, well, not blood pudding specifically,
Well,
but like the whole way, like that chain supply is like provided. and
right.
The whole
No,
Queen, Canada,
blood pudding is illegal in New York, but I know a place that makes it, but it's not the same as getting it from Canada. So I drive because I'm only an hour and 15 minutes from Niagara Falls border. So I go up like once a month and I'll buy shit and bring it back, and freeze it.
Is it just because
Why is
of
it
the
illegal?
blood?
Haggis or something?
No, it's called black pudding. It's illegal in New York. It's not legal in all the states, but yeah, it's because it's made
Haggis
with blood.
is illegal. They won't sell fucking stomach. Like there's certain shit. Like
It's not a stomach. It's just the stomach lining that it's cooked in.
But you can't fucking sell that like whatever in America. There's like an embargo on it. Like
Not anymore. When we were little, though, they used to
Yeah.
sell it at Wegmans. My mother would fucking buy the
Oh, really?
sheep lining and make haggis here in Rochester. So yeah, it
These
used to
guys
be.
don't
I
know
didn't
shit
know if
about
that was an
Rochester.
ingredient.
Fucking
in it.
Wegmans is an institution that came from fucking Rochester. These guys don't understand that. Fucking
I know it's a grocery
We
store.
don't.
yeah, it's a good buffet.
Nah, East
I mean,
Coast motherfuckers. Dude.
We used to have a Scottish butcher shop in town when I was a kid. Now we don't. It's gone. So I got to go to Canada for my stuff.
Dude, East Coast
Nah,
guys
you-
can just sit around talking about fucking just food and I mean,
Is
I'm
it-
sure it's all men everywhere, but Maxwell guys will just talk about fucking Greek pizza on fucking Route 9 for fucking like.
It's because you guys stopped and we kept going. We just kept going across the states and found the other coast. And along the way, we're like, you can't.
And you took the whole thing for yourself.
Haggis doesn't hold, bro. Haggis and blood sausage just doesn't hold.
It
We need
does.
other things that we can cure in salt because there wasn't any fucking.
I think it also has to do with the mentality of people and how much sun they get, also. Because Californians are always thinking they can invent new shit like the California Pizza Kitchen and blah blah and put avocado on everything.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
I guess we're talking about now, but I'm talking
more
back in the
traditional.
day, dude. Haggis sounds like something that would have
Haggis is gross,
stuck
dude.
around since the beginning. Well, what's the since the beginning shit that stuck until you got to the West Coast?
Pizza.
Not much, dude.
Cured.
I just know about haggis from Who I Married an Axe Murderer.
Maybe that's why we love fish
That's like
tacos
where I
and
know,
shit
yeah.
over here because we just got to the West and
That's
we were just
great.
like, fuck it. We
You-
gotta fish.
Dude.
Is that your only contribution to seafood though? Is
I
fish
guess,
tacos?
dude.
Like
It is,
seriously,
dude.
that's it?
All right, I cannot sit here
Can't even
and listen
fry
to
the
this
son of a
any
bitch.
longer.
Without what?
All right, we're talking food. We're gonna go East Coast, West Coast food. Is that what we're doing? Because how are your tacos out? Let's talk tacos.
They're
Let's
garbage.
talk
Fuck that. We
Mexican
got
food.
Brazilian steakhouses. Fuck that.
Oh yeah,
have
because we don't have
Go
those
ahead.
either.
Take
Right?
Mexican food.
You're
Go ahead.
talking.
We
We
gave
got
that up years
everything
ago.
you got.
Yeah.
By the way, who won best pizza in the United States? So it's in San Francisco. It's so weird. He also won in
Oh,
Italy.
Connecticut.
shit.
Fucking
Tony's
whatever.
Pizza, huh? All right, okay,
Bullshit.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Who judges?
Yeah,
President
and
That's what people call me
Presidente.
on the side.
The best
sushi.
pizza in the States is in New Haven, Connecticut, Chicago, and Buffalo. And I've been all over. That's just my opinion.
You
But
gotta try
fair.
Tony's
That's fair.
Pizza, man. Look it up. Look up Tony's
Mm.
Pizza in San Francisco. It's bomb. I would say
no,
overall,
I've been
the
there.
East
I've been there.
Coast,
It's awesome.
that's a bomb spot.
Actually,
East
I was
Coast
there
has
2 years
way
ago.
more better pizza. I will say
The
that.
next time
100%.
I'm going to see Nate in person is going to get some Tony's Pizza.
And
dude,
I'm
now
not
that
claiming
he said
tacos at
that.
all. We got no good Mexican anywhere fucking near.
No, we don't
me.
have Mexicans
Yeah,
up
yeah.
there. Like,
You got
the
that,
issue. You can
That's
your
take
what I'm
Mexican
saying,
food
man.
is
So-
That's
beef
like, all right.
on-
No, here's the thing. This is your draft pick. You're taking fucking Mexico as number one overall. We're giving you
No,
that.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
But that's what you claimed. You said that. You did. You claimed fucking Mexican. That's the first thing that you
The
said, and we'll
pizza.
give you that. You can take it.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, I claimed it against yours. Sure. Yeah, we'll go that route. Okay. What else we got?
Seafood.
We got
You
sushi.
guys,
Well, I mean, we'll just break it down. How's your lobster? How's your fucking clams?
yeah,
How's your oysters?
I'll say
it's
New
unbelievable.
England with the
That's how it
shellfish
is.
is
Yeah, and there's leagues of there's leagues of seafood.
yeah, but
and
some
you're not good
Dungeness
at any of
crab,
it, so
bro.
that's-
We get some.
Yeah.
thick
What about
fucking
the wharf?
Dungeness out
The
here,
crab
bro.
that we get in the city. We got crab like it's no one's business. Clam chowder, baby.
It's not. It's only in season for like 30 days though. I tried buying that for the
I know.
49.
Nowadays we're talking current, but hell yeah.
What about
You can get
sourdough
squalid
bread?
year round. Yeah,
Yeah,
you get
sourdough
sausage,
bread, you got it.
fucking-
But
Sourdough
yeah.
bread.
Nobody
You guys
can
know
do
it's
sourdough
invented
more
sourdough
than
bread
Yeah,
on
let's
Easter.
relive COVID together. Yeah, we'll
San
give you that one.
Francisco
That's what they
definitely
bought
has a
across
sourdough bread on
fucking-
lockdown. But New York
Yeah.
City has better bread and bagels in a general sense to me. But sourdough, San Francisco, all day. Like
I'll
You
have
California-
win bagels for
but-
sure, dude. Bagels, San
Oh, yeah.
Francisco has none, and I'm
no,
really
New Jersey
disappointed in
wins
that.
bagels.
But
For
I would
shame on
much
that.
rather kill a sourdough bread bowl than a fucking bagel, dude. Get the
Oh,
bagel
sure,
out of here.
sure.
If you put that in front of me, dude, get that out of here, dude. I need that sourdough. And we do it right, dude. Sourdough.
What the fuck you
is
gonna put in that
something-
bread bowl though, Anthony? I mean,
I'm gonna put your schmegma, dude.
You want my chowder in
I'm
that? Is that what you want? You want my chowder fucking all up in your fucking bread bowl? Fucking
Have you ever heard of Chipino? That was invented in San Francisco. Have you ever had that? That's like a
Yeah,
seafood.
dude.
medley.
What up, dude? We
never
got-
heard
we-
of it. It's clearly
we're
not good
talking
enough.
to
I've never
a
heard of it.
Venerucci
It wasn't
and a
good enough to make it
Trapani
to the East
right now,
Coast.
dude.
You know what I do is
Clearly wasn't
I,
good enough.
I make a shepherd's pie and I put it inside a bread bowl.
See, that's the old country.
Ooh,
It's awesome.
dude, I'm gonna be honest. My wife loves making shepherd's pie.
Make one in a bread bowl.
Doesn't excite
Do
me.
you even
dude.
have
It
fucking
doesn't
grass
excite me.
for sheep to eat, like in California? Do you even have grass for sheep to eat? Is that real?
What the fuck is
Actually, I
grass
think
for
California
sheep?
provides more
Shepherds.
beef than Nebraska does. We also provide,
really?
90% of the agriculture to the United States. So,
What up?
What up? You have
Stealing
no
all the
vegetables
water.
without us.
All those
You got no
almonds
veggies
just
without us.
sucking up the nutrients from everybody else's neighborhood.
Nah, dude, we're giving nutrients,
yeah.
bro.
Owning that fucking dairy farm, fucking for fucking 20 miles, fucking where the fuck is that?
Bakersfield fucking
Yeah,
blows,
Bakersfield.
dude.
That fucking sucks.
You don't want to.
Yeah,
When you
Bakersfield
breathe
sucks.
that, you actually. That's the first time you feel like, whoa, I'm taking it in.
Yeah, I didn't
serious
drink
things
milk
in my
after that for like
lungs,
20
dude.
years. Fucking like,
It's so sad to me. I was in San Francisco about a year and a half ago, and it's a beautiful city. I love it. I've been there a few times, but I'm not kidding you. When I left, I threw my shoes out
Yeah.
Just nastiness. Yeah.
because I was walking past people that were shitting and pissing on the sidewalk. I am not
Totally,
joking.
dude.
And it was just
Hey.
gross. It's everywhere. The homeless and the drugs everywhere, and the cops are walking by, people shooting up. I'm like, this is crazy, dude.
It was
Yeah,
wild.
Hey,
where were you at, Ian? What venue did you go to out there?
Oh no, me and my partner Anton were just walking around the city the entire day. So I went all over. And I mean, it's not everywhere, but it's where it is. It's so fucked where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Main
Nate
strips,
lives
you
in
know.
a beautiful area of the city.
Like I said, I love
Driving
it. I
up,
love
but
it.
you have to do your due diligence to get to Nate.
Where's
It's
the
not just
Nate? Where's the place where it's like the garden? You go up the stairs, and there's like a thing. You walk around the whole trees in the middle of the city. You come down, and you're back in the city. Like it's like an outdoor garden with all kinds of plants, and there's signs, and it's like a mile. People jog around it for lunch.
Twin Peaks.
Okay, so
Is that what you're talking about?
wait.
I don't know what it's called. It's just a beautiful garden up in the middle of the
Oh,
city
Twin
that
Peaks
we
isn't
took
a
an
garden.
elevator up to and walked around.
Yeah, we called it Twin Peaks.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
No, that doesn't have a
literally-
garden on it. I'm not sure.
I don't know what to call it. It's almost like a botanical garden you'd pay to get into and see, but it's open to the public, right in the middle of the city somewhere, and you walk around it. And
There's a
Something like-
lot of those, I guess. There's one in my neighborhood on Monterey Boulevard. If that is that where you were?
I don't know. I'm trying to think what else was close to there that I could give you a
I
reference.
know
Because
there's botanical gardens all over the city that like walk upstairs. So
it was, I don't know. Anton took me there. It was a really really big one. It's like a mile
Oh,
Walker,
Anton is in.
sick drummer, Anton, partner guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, the point
Yeah.
is it was beautiful, and then coming down like within 30 yards or 20 yards from that was just the worst filth. Like,
For sure.
I felt bad walking into a restaurant to get something to eat because I'm walking over people with nothing. You know, you're sitting
Yeah.
there trying to have a good time and, you know, have a burger or something. You look out and it's just, I feel bad. You know, there was one
That's for
hotel
sure.
where, what the hell is the hotel where all the NBA players stay when they come in there? We were right there.
By the Hilton. So you guys are downtown.
Yeah, downtown for sure.
You know,
So-
downtown. I don't go downtown in the city. It's unless I have business there. You know.
Sure.
That's California. I mean, that's downtown LA. That's downtown San Diego. That's downtown Portland. That's downtown West Coast,
I
basically,
get it.
all the way
Well,
up and
downtown
down.
Denver too. Denver's the same way, but
Yeah. So everyone,
Fucking housing crisis.
I didn't see people
like-
defecating on the streets in Denver, but I did literally leaning against a
Yeah.
parking meter, shitting on the road like some dude. I'm like, dude,
I
That's
saw
why-
somebody shitting in New York and in Philadelphia. So
really?
I feel like
Right.
that's everywhere. The thing about the West Coast, I think, in San Francisco, is it's the best place to be fucking homeless because of the weather. It doesn't snow, so
Oh, yeah. I
it
always
it's
thought
just
that, yeah.
and there's people with money all around you. So if I was homeless, I would want to be in San Francisco, 100%. And there's there is social services, but I think the big part of it is the snow. You aren't in crazy snow.
100%.
You aren't in crazy heat. Like seeing homeless people in Vegas when it's 125 degrees outside and they're just cooking on the pavement.
Oh,
Like, no, I'd rather be where it's
So gnarly.
68 degrees. You
yeah,
know,
it's a good point. It's a good point. But now they're putting those like concrete, pointy things all underneath the roadway, like underpasses, so you can't sleep there anymore, and they're like all spiky and
Yeah.
shit.
Then they push them
But
down.
I will say I still love San Francisco for a lot of things, and the same things that's in New York and in Philadelphia. I think Boston is there's a music culture, there's a food culture, there's artists everywhere. Like Bobby McFerrin plays every Monday in Berkeley, right next to San
no
Francisco. It's
shit.
really cool to be able to see that. Thomas Pridgen from the Mars Volta plays
Yeah.
at restaurants in San Francisco all the time. And plays
Well, I
for
did.
free
I
at
did.
like
I did
Everett Jones.
preface the whole statement. I did preface by saying it's a beautiful city. I love it. Don't get me wrong.
For
I was
sure,
just
for sure.
blown away.
Yeah.
And a funny Thomas Pridgen story. Can I even tell a funny Thomas Pridgen story?
Go for it.
Yeah, we Nam, of course. I hung out with him a bunch. Doing the Nam 14 times, and he likes trees. You know what I'm saying? And we took him out one night after Nam, and he basically passed out on the table at Denny's.
Nice.
Because
We've
of
all done it.
Anton. It was after he played at the Axis booth with Ben from Dillinger, Pete Griffin, and fucking Blues Traveler. They had this all-out jam. We have it on our YouTube. It's so sick,
That's
dude.
dope.
It's so
Yeah, he's so fun to watch. He's so creative. He's the house drummer at the Black Cat in San Francisco, a jazz bar. So if you ever get a chance, go to the website. It always says Thomas Pridgen, like the sitting drummer today.
He's an absolute alien, dude. Especially his stuff with Mars Volta.
Yeah, that's what got me into the Mars Volta was Bedlam and Goliath. Just his playing is so nuts.
Go back and listen to John Theodore too. Then.
Oh, of course. I love that. Delouse and the Comatorium is my favorite album of all time. With Anima, those two are like.
But you just mentioned Bedlam as being your first introduction.
No, Bedlam is what got me into them. My introduction was their first album. Was Delouse and the Comatorium. I wasn't ready for it yet when I first heard it. For sure, I didn't. I wasn't.
None of us were.
No, it's great. I mean, are you a fan of At the Drive-In too, or no? Because I'm not a fan of At the Drive-In, but I love Mars Volta.
At all.
I'm
the type of guy that once I figure out the connection, then I have that lens that I listen to it. So there's some stuff with At the Drive-In that I can enjoy, but it's not going to give me the same thing that Mars does,
No, that's what I was saying. I can't. It's cool. What about you, Josh? You like those? You like Mars Volta, Josh?
That's intense stuff. Like it's kind of like an experience. I kind of put on the same par as like that new Blood Incantation album, where it's more of like, yeah, you gotta like kind of sit down and strap in and commit yourself to it. Like it deserves your attention in a way that's like you know, like
They did
I don't know,
like
like
a 20-minute music video for that shit, right?
yeah. And I fucking like actually watching that new Blood
I
Incantation.
sat in for the whole thing too, dude.
Yeah, the visual thing I prefer way more than just listening. Like
Yeah.
it's like hard for me to like listen to that and get in and out of the car and like jump into it again. You know what I mean? Like it's just like
Mhm.
it's just like a little fucking I don't know. Like like I respect my fucking mushrooms and I take it seriously. I try to honor their
Yeah.
fucking purpose and respect the vibe. And ultimately, like fucking when you get down with that whole like visual experience, I thought they knocked out of the pack with like that
I
video.
agree,
Like
dude.
real cinema to me. Like it should be fucking legitimate like shot film. Like. And that tense. But Maz Volta's like in that vein to me, where it's like, yo, like you better fucking be on your fucking balls of your feet here. Fucking you gotta be sharp and fucking be ready to move to this shit. Like it's not casual music by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
Yeah, it's intense a lot, and Thomas Pridgen just like added to that like chaotic intenseness with his crazy drumming. And John Theodore, I think, was more laid back, even though he had a lot of crazy parts. He was more dynamic with their music. Thomas Pridgen was like balls out the whole album, pretty much. But I think that's what they wanted too. They're really cool how they build songs, how it's like jams, and they cut sections of the jams and they make the songs. The band doesn't even know what the song is going to sound like when they do it. They're just jamming together. So they're really capturing like the best moments of songs. So I think there's a lot of stuff in that I really like too.
That's a good explanation of it for sure. John Theodore definitely was more staying to the lines of writing, where Pridgen goes off and what he creates becomes the lines of writing,
Yeah,
in and out of the groove. You know what I mean? Instead of staying on the groove, he's in and out of it, making the groove line.
And Ian, while I have you here too,
like
I want to say thank you for featuring Tim as a drum programmer as well too back in the day.
Oh yeah,
that was that was fun to see.
He might have been the first one we did that for.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That was like a cool thing because we felt kind of weird, I guess, programming drums. So to be recognized for it was like, whoa, that's cool.
But and Tim doing that whole thing, he became the digital drummer of Anomalous, right?
Robotron 5000.
Yeah, dude. And so he is still a sick drummer.
Yeah, and Anomalous is making new music too, so hopefully
dude.
Yes, they are with Sam Lanyon, if he's still in chat here.
Sam, dude.
Sam's
shout
now
out,
dude. He's now in Anomalous.
And before all that was or maybe at the same time that was announced, he came on. And yeah, another guy that's been on the show, Sam, super interesting dude, and
uber talented dude. I watch his stream sometime.
Nate is literally the person that made me want to get him on the show years ago. I went to track some vocals with Nate and that fell apart for me, but not Nate. It fell apart for me. But during that time, he showed me the SL1 EP, and Sam had featured on the Antisocial Ontogeny album. And what was it? Was
Transcontinental Web Jam.
There you go. Transcontinental Web Jam, dude. And it was the first time I ever heard, or in recent times I had ever heard Sam play, because he was in previous bands that what's the other band that Sam was in before that? I'm too drunk. Mummification, dude. Sorry. Yeah.
And then I met him. I think he was in a band called One for Every Victim, and that's where we met him in Clear Lake. I just felt like it was amazing finding him in Clear Lake, because that's like the
dude. There. And I know it's the cuts, dude, because I have family out there, dude, on Cobb Mountain, and we already talked about this, I'm sure, on the episode. But it's not like your neighbor's right next to you.
No, and he like learned how to play on his own. He's a nut. He's crazy good at guitar, for sure. So it's exciting having him on there, and playing with Max is just the shit. Max is the man.
Yeah.
He's like just he
No
needs to
offense to
play
any
guitar.
other guitar players anywhere, but Max is to me the best player alive, and I mean that.
Max is he's my favorite guitar player. He's just so fun.
Max and a guy named Vishal J. Singh from India in a band called Amok Symphony is my other favorite.
Max and Gilbert, to me, they're always in the
Gilbert's
same.
nasty.
But I know, but I put them in that same thing. We're talking about falling into certain, bubbles or whatever. Gilbert and Max, they fall into this other realm for me of guys who can play such high caliber stuff and even improvise. Max, I'll give Max I'll give him the trophy for best.
You should, because he is the one that's why I'm talking about he is the best, because that what you just explained. Yes, Gilbert's amazing. So when Gilbert used to stream a lot before he was up with Cynic, he would do a lot of Cynic on his stream. He would do a lot of Dillinger on his stream, but he wouldn't take live learns and this and that. And that's Gilbert. That's great. He's awesome. Max will solo over everything and anything somebody throws at him, and never, ever, ever miss a fucking note.
Yeah,
it's astounding to me.
Jazz, he can just play guitar all day. He
doesn't matter what it is.
Anything. Yeah, he's music just flies out of him, and he has such cool ways to describe how he thinks about music, and the way he just thinks about art in general is really inspiring. He's a true artist, Max, and it's super inspiring to play with him, and even Tim too. Tim is a huge part of what Anomalous is, and that crazy sound is Tim's chaotic writing kind of mixed with Max's just feel, and then I'm bridging between those two sounds, like, because I came into their situation when they're writing already, so I'm like, oh well, I gotta find the medium between those and still try to have me in there too. So it's cool, the new songs coming out, and now we have Sam there too.
Jackpot, hitting the lottery situation to have what you just mentioned, because there's so many people out there that are trying to put a band together that will never even come near what you just said. And I'm also grateful because I got Casey next to you, Joel, all these guys that we have worked with for decades that just know how each other work, and I have the utmost trust in these guys to do exactly what they could do as musicians at our time. But I always want to continue making music with these guys because it's so easy. With what you just said, you sound like you have an immediate trust in Max and Tim and all these guys. Like I know that
I definitely wouldn't describe it as that for Anomalous. I have trust that they're going to write sick stuff, I guess, but at the same time, the Anomalous writing is arduous. It is a lot of rewriting, a lot of moving things and changing the song, and it's kind of a hassle.
But you follow that process because you trust the dudes involved, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know it's going to be sick because I like the music Max and Tim make. That they make sick songs, but it's still an arduous process because it's all of us trying to get our ideas in a thing too, and I think that's kind of hard sometimes to have four people say let's write a song together.
Yeah,
and everyone has riffs, so it's kind of tough. I would say there's not much that's fluid about Anomalous other than like the players within it can be fluid on their own. Like Max can play over everything, but writing an Anomalous song isn't Max playing over everything. It's writing a crazy ass fucking song. So that's like the Tim part, reining that in too, right? And so it's just a weird experience. It's hard to describe.
Is that your it's ontogeny? Is ontogeny your response to what you just said?
Ontogeny is great because there's no one arguing with the riffs that I'm writing. So,
Yeah, yeah.
I just play what's fun to me, and I play what I want to hear and where I'm at the time. And then I bring it to Keith, and Keith adds to it, and we make it better from there. So I would say it's way easier for me to write it because of that. It's more fun. I wouldn't call it more fun, actually. They're both very fun. It's just a different thing for sure. It's different.
Yeah. So anomalous is, you would say, is more so multiple competing, not egos, but you're just creators that are all kind of seen in that group as at similar levels. So
They're trying to make a
things,
tasty soup out of the best ingredients. You know what I mean?
you got a lot of high caliber chefs in the kitchen.
It's just everyone writes cool stuff, and
And then
but we are
ontogeny is your own little restaurant outside of all that.
but it's
where
also a
you're
different style
head
to me
chef.
too. Like Anomalous is death metal to me. It's like fast ass kick and hyper blasting, and
That's super technical at times, though, bro. Don't give it. Don't.
But
just-
ontogeny is like it's Keith on drums. Keith doesn't do double bass, really at all. So it's
you're
like
the most tech. You and Anomalous are the most tech deck thing that came out of the Bay Area.
No,
I
well,
totally.
thank you. I guess if that's a compliment.
That's what I love
Back
about
that,
Keith
dude.
too. By the way, he doesn't use a lot of double bass and he rips.
What was that?
And he's all
That's one
natural.
of the things. That's one of the things I like about Keith is that I don't play double kick anymore at all. I haven't in fucking 10, 12 years, and it's hard to
he
pull
just
off what he does with 1 foot.
He fills it out with his hands.
Yep.
He plays a double kick pedal. Let me clarify that, a double kick pedal. But our speeds when we're at like 250, there's no double 16th notes at 250. It's 8th notes at that speed always. We do the black metal blast, as I call it, right? Or
yeah.
But Keith, I remember when I went from the album Pillars of Perversion, when I programmed that, it's very death metal. It's like origin drums. And I didn't want to program drums. I wanted a real drummer. And I was thinking about Keith. I went back to kind of the beginning of your episode. I went back to Igor Cavalera, and I was like, dude, when he would do the tom things at those speeds, it was like double kick. He didn't need double kick because his hands were doing toms super fast. So that's where we changed our direction to Keith kind of playing the drums on the toms and stuff and filling out the 16th notes there. So, it's a different style than Anomalous. I write differently for the two projects completely. I write for an Anomalous riff, and then I write for an ontogeny riff when I write.
Sure. Listen, guys, I got to bounce here. I don't know how long you guys plan on staying on, but
dude, no, it's all good. Ian, dude, I love you, brother.
Love you too,
man. So much for everything you've done for us over the years, and also thank you so much for being a part of this community, dude, and celebrating 200 episodes and 4 years of this shit, dude.
Yeah,
thank you.
Honored to be invited, man, and it's been fun. It was nice to meet you. I've seen you guys before, Casey and Nate, but Josh, it was nice to meet you. And
you too.
It was nice to chew the fat.
Yeah, glass goes green.
Ian, very nice to talk to you.
Absolutely,
as well.
man.
Good times. And Josh, that was fun as fuck talking to you too, man. That was a good time.
Dude. And again, subscribe to all things Sick
and
Drummer
Anthony
Magazine, and get over to Ian's Sick Drummer Magazine Twitch and subscribe to that as well, please. You can interact with the man himself, and he's been with us for a long time, dude. I love having Ian with us every week, dude. And Josh, dude. Yeah, we'll wrap it up, dude. Let's do
no, look at Soli and Kettle still in the chat. You guys fucking rule.
Yeah, dude. I love all you guys in the chat celebrating with us tonight, dude. This is a pinnacle, dude. 4 years and 200 episodes. We got some history behind us now, guys. It's a real thing to be like, oh shit, you did 200 episodes of this, whatever the fuck this thing is.
Oh yeah, man.
And to have you guys here with us and know that you've been a part of it since before this, it's just super cool, dude. And Nate, it's so cool that you guys got to hook up in physical form too, dude.
Oh yeah.
When you go back home, Nate.
Okay.
He took the mic.
You take it with him.
I don't need the mic, but yeah, man, it was a good time. Casey's the shit. Y'all are the shit.
You flying
Anthony,
out tomorrow?
That's right. Yeah, I
Nice,
had
dude.
like evening flight though, so I have a daytime San Diego still.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Well,
I mean,
enjoy
and
the rest of your
my
time.
next trip is gonna be Boston, by the way. I did New York and
All right.
Philadelphia. I saw the Dillinger reunion in New York, so next is gonna be Boston. So, Josh, you'll have to show me some bomb Boston food out there if you could find
we'll
it.
get down.
Anyway, right?
Yeah, we'll connect and we'll do
Get
some
down,
breweries.
dude.
Fucking at it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cheers to you all.
Hell
Here's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
4 years.
Coming on.
Hope you have another fucking 400 episodes. Kelly, that
Oh,
fucking
hell
wicked
yeah.
sick
Dude,
shit.
I'll do it as long as this thing's still cool, and I have a great time hanging out with you guys each week, dude, and so it's still cool to me. And let's do another 100. Come on.
Stay
Rock
cool,
and
baby.
roll.
Peace.
All right, guys. Everybody enjoy your weekend and get spooky. It's starting to become Halloween, all that kind of shit, dude. And thank you so much, Josh, Ian, Nate. You guys have been such cool dudes.
Fuck yeah.
I love you all. Casey, love you. Joel's missing and the professor's missing. But hey, 200 episodes. All right. Literally
Shit.
love you guys so much. We'll see you
Yeah,
next
man.
week for
Thank you for everybody.
201.
Again, thanks
Rock
to everybody.
on.